Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. The holiday season brings holiday scenarios. This is a one-shot, and it's titled Santaland. It was written by Sean Liddle, and he is also our game master for tonight. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Sean?
Good evening, everyone. It is 1975, Christmas Eve, downtown Toronto. You are sitting in the third floor, rather, of the department store known as Steele's Department Store. You finish the day's sales. It's the last of the sales before a well-deserved Christmas break, if only for a few days. Per tradition, each floor's management, along with Mr. McIntosh, the maintenance manager, receives a visit from old Mr. Steele, owner of the Steele Ross department store. People call it Steele, but it's Steele Ross is the official name. He has visited the first and second floors in the 2 days previous, and you, as the esteemed third floor team, most important among all floors, you are, along with Mr. Rumstead, waiting for him to arrive. Mr. Steele likes to deliver your annual bonus to you on Christmas Eve in person. He's very elderly and doesn't make it down from his office apartment. He lives on the 4th floor very often. It is a treat to see him in person. You all love working here, and although you wish to go home for the night, this is by no means a chore. Takeaway Chinese food has arrived, and you've all just finished a casual meal together using first names for the first time in days. And hastily set up a group of cards, at a hastily set up group of card tables, and chairs. You wait patiently for the elevator door to open, and Mr. Steele to shuffle out beaming with his usual happy, gratuitous smile. Gracious smile, not gratuitous, that would be wrong. He's often flanked by his 2 rather young and attractive nurses, assistants. And you wait, the meal is finished, and you keep looking at the clock thinking, we don't want to go home yet. We want to wait. We'd like to receive our money. It's an annual tradition. It's nice to see him. And there's quiet mall, grocery store, department store, like Christmas music playing overhead. Do, 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 do. And the intercom buzzes. Bam, bam. Mr. McIntosh walks over, insisting that Mr. Rumstead, the manager of the store, sit down and enjoy his meal. Mr. McIntosh walks over, and he receives notification immediately. It is one of the nurses. She says, Mr. Steele would like to speak to you, Mr. McIntosh. Could you please bring the managers up to his apartments, his office, because there's a problem and he's very upset.
Of course. Gentlemen, Mr. Steele wants us up to the apartment. I'm afraid there might be something wrong. Did he want both managers, or all 3?
He would like the managers. They just said the managers.
So Coburn and Mr. Rumstead.
Yes.
If it's not too much trouble, would you all please join me, or Mr. Coburn, Mr. Rumstead, and to the rest of you, please enjoy yourselves. We'll be back.
It's unusual for us to go upstairs, isn't it? Normally, old man Steele comes down to see us.
Well, and why he called me, it must be, I'm wondering if something's wrong, perhaps with, it seemed to be that might have been one of the nurses, but let's go check. Hopefully he's fine.
Hey, should be. It's probably something small,
Well, let's get up there.
Well, I want the rest of you just to stay here, though. I mean, don't go tucking out just yet. We're all going to get our Christmas bonuses, and there's still plenty of food, and we've got half a bottle of hooch left still, if anybody needs a little nip to tide you over.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Rumstead. I'll go grab.
Of course, it's Christmas Eve. We had such good numbers this quarter.
I open up the elevator and I hold the door for them.
Yes. And it is one of the old-fashioned elevators from the 70s, where normally there's an operator throughout the day, but of course he's gone home, and the maintenance man, James Hardley, Mr. McIntosh, and the managers all know how to operate the door. You You open the main door, you go inside, there's a gate, and when you get inside, you actually have to move a lever to the floor that you wish to go to. You shut the doors. Well, you shut the doors first, push some buttons, and boom, up you go. And it's a little rickety, but it's well maintained otherwise. You get up to the to the fourth floor, and you actually have to use a key to get the fourth floor because that's where the office is and his apartments, and they don't want regular staff people accidentally pushing a button. You arrive, the door opens, and the two nurses are just walking around. They say, he's very upset. He's very upset. Please, I'll go into his office. And you know that there's an office where there's administration. There's his office, and his apartments are off to the side down a hallway. And he's waiting. He's waiting. You can see him waiting at his desk.
Well, what is he upset about? I asked one of the nurses.
They look at each other and say, we're not supposed to say, but he received a phone call. It's very upsetting.
He'll tell us.
Phone call on Christmas Eve.
Phone call.
Christmas
Oh,
Eve,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Let's go see Mr. Steele.
You go and he's sitting at his desk and he's fidgeting and he's beside himself. He's beside himself. He says, "Gentlemen, please sit. Please sit. Here, I have the packets for each of the staff downstairs for the others. Please distribute them. Give them my apologies. You can tell them anything you want. Tell them I'm unwell, but not to worry. It's nothing serious or severe. I'm not unwell." And he's a man of, you assume he's in his 70s. He's generally very healthy and fit for his age, but he's very agitated, very agitated. And the nurse is standing by, and she's, do you need a pill? Sir, he says, go out, please leave us. Please shut the door. Please shut the door. And he sends them out, and they shut the door behind him. And he says, "Gentlemen, I received a very upsetting phone call earlier, minutes ago. And he turns the phone around to face you, and he says, the phone call was from Daniel Ross, my former partner. And for a bit of background, you know that Mr. Ross and Mr. Steele's parents owned the two department stores that are side by side. Mr. Steele, his father retired and handed him ownership of the company when he was fairly young. A few years later, Mr. Ross, his father and mother disappeared. They disappeared in the Caribbean while sailing one time. And they merged. They became friends because they always knew each other as they were young, but they merged, and the department stores merged and became Steele Ross. Mr. Ross himself, he disappeared about 10 years ago as well, same as his father. And Mr. Steele has been very upset since that time. He's withdrawn from the company, mostly staying in his office in the apartments. But he says, Daniel phoned me. Daniel phoned me, and it was his voice. It was him. There's nobody. It was not someone imitating him. It was not a prank.
After 10
years. It was
years.
his voice.
10 years. It's been 10 years since you heard from him.
10 years to the day.
Well,
what did he say?
He's rubbing his chest, and he takes a drink of water, has a drink, and he fumbles in his drawer and pulls out a pill and takes a pill, and you assume it's a nitro pill or something like that. And he says, "Gentlemen, and he points to a line. There's a series of lines on the phone. He goes, this was not an external call. This was in the building.
He called from inside the building.
Inside the building. It was staticky. I couldn't hear him hardly. It was like he was calling long distance from overseas, from China or India or one of those places.
Which line?
He points to the line, and it is a brownish, like the plastic is burnished, and it's brown. And he says, that's the line from the Ross building next door. And the Ross building has been closed down for a number of years, and it's used only for storage. The main there's only two floors, a smaller building. The two floors are used for warehousing. He says, I don't know what's going on.
Somebody must be pulling a prank on you, sir.
He didn't ask for anything. He said, it's me.
And hung up?
He was cut off. He said, it's me, Daniel. It's me. I'm here.
Well, don't you worry about it, sir. We'll go over and check out that building and see if we can find anyone.
If you could, please. I'm very distraught because Daniel's been missing for 10 years, and it was his voice. And he could hear me because like the way he was speaking, he could hear me. It wasn't a recording or anything like that.
I don't know I don't know, gentlemen, if you have access to that. I should have a key. Perhaps Mr. Hadley, our maintenance man, has a key. I don't know if it's storage, then perhaps Mr. Hadley's been over there a number of times.
Well, we can ask him. Certainly we can ask him. But Mr. Steele, don't worry about it. I'm quite sure there's a logical explanation to all of this. We'll go
check it out.
We certainly don't mind staying. Did you give us those packets for our Christmas bonus?
Yes, they're right. He says, yes, to take them, distribute them among the staff. I want the rest to go home. The ladies must go home.
Yes, I absolutely will do that. I'll do that, and I'll offer your most sincere condolences, and
we'll tell them that you're not feeling well.
And thanks. We'll thank the staff for all their hard work.
Thank you. And here's some cab chits, and he gives 2 chits to pay for their cab fare. Send them home on cabs. Don't let them walk. It's a stormy night. I would have sent you all in that way anyways, but please send them home.
All right.
Absolutely.
Consider it.
Now you're going to stay right. This is your apartment, so you'll stay right up here. So we will check in just a few moments.
And I see both of you, Rumstead and Coburn. Okay, Macintosh, make an idea roll while you're standing there.
28. That is a pass.
Okay. As you're walking past, you do actually note that the button on the phone is line 27.
27. So I don't know exactly which phone that would go to, but probably Mr. Hardley would.
We can only hope. Well, okay, so the 3 of us are leaving.
He can certainly trace it.
I'll probably be the one holding the packages for everybody Christmas bonuses.
Yeah, let's go downstairs.
No, I will be holding those.
Well, there's probably too many for one person to hold.
Well, they're just envelopes, aren't they?
They're just envelopes, yes. They have money, actual cash in them. Though.
But Mr. Coburn, here's yours, of course. Thank you for all of your good work. And Mr. McIntosh, here's yours. Thank you for all of your hard work.
Of course.
Let's go downstairs. We'll distribute these. Oh, but I want to just mention to the nurses, Mr. Steele does seem quite agitated. And you are planning on staying. I know it's Christmas Eve, but you're staying the night?
They titter, and one says, usually one of us does.
Well, it would be a good idea tonight. He's very agitated, and I'm sure that wonderful. Right. So you'll stay the night. Okay.
We'll make sure he has company.
Oh boy. Let's go downstairs. And we go to the elevator. We go downstairs.
Hank, take us down.
Yeah. You're down. Everybody's well, there's only 3 down. There's the maintenance. It's Mr. Hadley and the ladies, and they're standing there, but they're wondering what's going on. They're still eating Chinese food.
Everyone, Mr. Steele is he's a little under the weather, not terribly sick or anything like that, but he's just a little indisposed. I've got everyone's Christmas bonus. Thank you so much. Ladies, Mrs. A and Miss Penny, here you go. Thank you so much. Here, we've also got some cab fare for you. We want to make sure that you get home safely, of course. And I hope you both have a wonderful Christmas tomorrow.
Merry Christmas.
They thank you. They tag packets. You can see they each take a little tiny container for take home. They throw a little bit of food in, package it up for themselves, and they take like the little paper boxes with the little handle, and they take those and they leave with them. They go down the elevator. I assume.
Mr. Koch, if you could stay for a few moments. We might need your assistance. Mr. Hadley, if you would stay.
Sure.
Ladies are gone.
Ladies are gone. Gentlemen, Old Man Steele received a call from the 10 years, according to him, the 10 years missing Mr. Ross. So we know, yes, and we know that Ross has been gone for lost in the Caribbean 10 years ago. So that's weird. Weirder is Old Man Steele says it was an internal line coming from the old Ross building that he called on.
That makes no sense. That's just a warehouse, basically.
I completely agree, and there's all I don't know what's going on, but Mr. Steele is our benefactor. He is our employer. So I'm sure that we could spend an extra 45 minutes on Christmas Eve to maybe the five of us can just dash next door, take a look around to make sure that there's nothing there, and then we can just write it off as nerves.
But how is he certain that the call was from inside this building or inside over there?
It's on line 27, 29.
Oh, line 27. Well, we could probably check downstairs, I guess, in the phone patch board in the basement, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes,
Correct.
if you would like to get started on that, that would be good. By chance, would you know where the keys to the other building are? Also,
They should be on your
Mr.
thing.
Hadley has keys. Mr. Hadley has keys to all of this building except for the offices and the
The private
Steele's
rooms, right?
private rooms.
Yeah.
And you have keys to access the top two floors of the building from your building. They're actually connecting doors.
Yeah, but not the basement floor though of the Ross building.
To get to the basement, you have to go down to the main floor of your building, down some stairs to where currently is there's an area that's used for seasonal storage, but at this time of year it's converted to a just a room where there's a throne and Santa Claus sits and meets the children during the day for the weeks leading up to Christmas. But from that door, there's possibly an entrance into the other building. Actually, Mr. Rumstead, you've been there longer than anyone else. I believe you've been there quite a long time. This is knowledge you have that before, when Mr. Ross was still around, actually the Santa Claus area was much larger and took up a lot of the basement of the other building as well. It wasn't just a single room. But right now,
so the basements are definitely connected. They were in the past.
Yes, but it's padlocked right now. There's a large padlock.
Yeah.
They probably used to move material back and forth between the two buildings.
Yeah, I think I might even have a set of spare keys too down in my desk, but I've got the keys here in my belt here.
Oh, perfect. If you're equipped with keys, let's the five of us just head downstairs and we'll take a look at the switchboard as you suggested, and then we'll just go next door. Shouldn't take much time at all, gentlemen. And again, thank you so much for your year's hard work.
All right.
thank you, sir. I'll go grab some flashlights just in case. That building's been there for quite a while.
Okay, are you going to go to the hardware department of your store then, or are you going to search for them somewhere else?
Well, we should be able to turn on the lights down in the basement.
Yeah, my little office is down in the bottom of this building, of the steel building.
Yeah, we could probably just get maybe one from the maintenance guy just in case.
Yeah, of course.
It's a stormy night and we're going to a basement.
Yeah, all right. So I'll start heading down just to take a look at the switchboard to make sure everything's in order. And if anything's patched over from the building, I'm not too certain. Need to check on that.
Okay, the switchboard is actually on the first floor of the steel building. It's not in the basement.
Oh, okay.
So you have to go to your office, which is also on the first floor at the rear of the building in the old warehousing area. So I assume you all go down there, get a flashlight, and on the first floor, of course, as I mentioned, is a electrical room. And in that electrical room, there is a switchboard that has just like a fuse box. Every little line is noted where they are. And everything down to 20 is the steel building, rather, the one you were in. 21 onward is the Ross building. Most of them have had the names marked out because they've disconnected the lines over time. Yeah. But you go down to 27, and 27 actually says D. Ross office.
Bro, but you look at that, it's still patched. Huh.
Well,
is that the...
Wouldn't be any reason not to.
What does that mean exactly? It's still patched.
Well, the phone, there's a phone, well, at least there's where the phone wire is connected to the phone patch room here, and then that goes out to the telephone lines out of the building. So this is inner office patch between this building and that building for direct calls, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that's how it works.
So you think her name is Deborah Winger, who works here during the day doing the switchboard. Well, let's get going. The sooner we find out if
Wait, but you're saying that this is the line 27 is from the old Ross main office?
Oh, not the main office. It says here. It looks like it's D. Ross's office himself, like his personal office.
Isn't that place locked up?
Well, that would be on the second floor if I remember. I mean, I've been here a long time, but that can't be right.
Well, we could head over. I think we've got the keys here to get into that area.
I'm not sure what the problem is. They don't tear out the phone lines just because they close the building.
But the building is locked. I mean, nobody should be inside.
They don't tear out it's just electrical lines that are connecting the buildings.
Oh, sometimes
there was a time when they were both open.
Yeah, they might have pulled the lines to tidy up the patch board. I mean,
there might not even be a phone in there, except that there was a phone.
It could just be another homeless man who needed a place to stay during this cold weather.
Well, I don't want to knock Christian charity, but we don't generally let homeless people into the store for the night.
Let's assume that there is somebody up there, hopefully, or I don't know whether it's hopefully or not, whether it's.
But we only let employees in to the Ross building. So let's just head over there.
Mr. Hardley, when was the last time anybody stored stuff over there? I know that there's quite a bit of stuff over there, but
wasn't too long ago.
No, that's where you keep your stock. Comes in through the Ross building on the main floor, and it's distributed on the first and second, and then there's doors connecting the building so you can move materials from one side to the other. So
there are
storage.
We're in there all the time.
Get in.
Yes. Yeah, we're in there all the time.
Let's go check it out. The sooner we find out whether Mr. Ross is here, the sooner we can leave and go home for Christmas.
Well, we know Mr. Ross isn't going to be here.
Let's make sure.
All right, let's go.
Good old Mr. Steele deserves a peace of mind.
You've got two flashlights. You do actually just, you do have two flashlights. There is a small for the day, little round one, and then you've got a little more, one of the ones that has a little larger lantern battery. It's got a big push button on top. So you've got two flashlights. You can go, that Mr. Ross's office, Mr. Rumstead knows, it's on the second floor, back of the building, so you can access it through the second floor. I would assume that you take the elevator down, because there are no stairs going from the third floor to the second floor. There are going from the second to the first, and then from the first to the basement. You go down the elevator, you get off on the second floor. Christmas music, the loop is ending, so it's now winding down. You can hear this is the end of the business day. Welcome, thank you for shopping at. And the music just sort of cuts off, and it's automatic. The cassette tape is, or 8-track tape is run out. It will loop again if you let it. You go to that floor, and there's a door that is used for moving materials back and forth. You unlock it. You move over into the next building. The next building is gutted. I mean, some of you most of you have been here, but only just looking in the door, seeing things come in. The floors are gutted. There's stores, there's boxes, everything has a sign: menswear, women's wear, haberdashery, shoes, whatever the proper name for shoes is. And you do know that at the very back, whoever's Mr. Ross's office, it is still intact. It's in the corner, 2 walls, door, 1 window facing out into the floor, and you can go right straight over there.
As we approach, can we see anything through the window, or are their blinds closed on it?
There's no blinds. There are blinds, but they're not closed. One's askew. I mean, now nobody's been there for a little while. It's kind of fallen off the tracks a little bit. You approach the door. The door is locked. I assume you unlock it.
We don't use this for anything, right? I mean, it's been...
This office? No. It's verboten. You are not allowed to be in here. This is one thing that has been told to you. It's Mr. Ross's things. And, Mr. Steele says nobody is allowed Mr. Ross's office.
And it's been that way for 10 years. I mean,
Yes.
they were good chums. Mr. Steele was upset when Mr. Ross disappeared.
Very upset. They were best of friends.
Does
Okay,
the
just looking in through the glass of the window, can I see anything inside the office?
It looks like it did 10 years ago when you worked here. There are still papers on the desk, though they've been straightened as people as the police went looking through things, they straightened it up. There are file folders. There's a secretary's desk followed by Mr. Ross's desk behind another half wall. Uh, there are filing cabinets. There are the lateral filing cabinets, horizontal ones rather. There are phones on the desk. There are clipboards on the wall. He was very, very precise. And there are Christmas decorations on the wall because Mr. Ross was obsessed with Christmas. You know full well that as he stopped actually being involved in the business a lot. He was more involved in A, looking for his parents, and B, taking part in preparing for Christmas every year, which he started around September, and C, assisting in Mr. Hardley rather, and others in putting together the Christmas float for the annual Santa Claus parade in town.
All right,
He kind of left
gentlemen,
the business stuff up with others.
let me open the door and let's not go in for a moment. I want to see something.
certainly here are the keys, Mr. McIntosh.
All right. So I open the door and I turn on the lights. Do they work in the office?
Click, 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 click. The lights are turned. Power's turned off to the office.
May I see your flashlight for a moment, please?
Oh, sure. Here you
I'm
go.
going to look. There must be layers of dust in here. And I want to see if there are footprints, if the phone on the desk has been disturbed. I should easily be able to tell that from the dust, if the dust is.
Yes. One thing you notice is there is in the back wall, actually a hole has been chewed in the wall, and a rat hole. You've had a problem with rats in this part of the building, as well as the basement. There's traps everywhere. There's some footprints here and there, but nothing on the desk, nothing around the phone itself. But could you roll by chance? I'm just looking at here. I need some kind of a perception roll.
Spot hidden?
Spot hidden would be best, yes. Although it's not seeing things.
81. That is a fail. I only have 25 for a detective.
Okay. So you don't notice any. There's no footprints. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. Nothing seems disturbed. Who's this? Is anyone else near the
They're
entry?
probably standing right next to me.
Yeah, I'd
Okay.
like to
I
come
don't
in and
see-
check the phone lines if it's okay.
Well,
I don't think anybody's been in here for 10 years. Nobody
Is
made a
it-
call from this phone.
Could
Well, I
I
would've-
go check the phone lines? I could put a tone on the
Yes.
line just to see if it goes back to the patch board. Make
you
sure
can do
it's
that.
all right.
But
So I'll
make a spot hidden roll as you enter the room.
certainly. All right. Oh my gosh! It's a 99. I win.
So you see what I see.
What's happening? What's happening?
Some things.
Well, there's no evidence that anybody's disturbed the dust in this room for 10 years.
Does the phone work?
Well, we're checking that out, but there's nobody's touched that phone. Look, there's dust all over it.
Mr.
There would be a
Harley-
handprint.
Let's give an old military man a look.
Well, then you make a roll as well. Go for it. Spot hidden. This might actually you can do it with advantage based on your background.
All right. Let's hope for the best. I'm going to spend 5 luck so I can make that, which would make it a 30.
Easy enough. Did you roll advantage? Because you can do that.
Yeah, I did. I still
Oh,
had to
still
do
only-
it.
Okay, that's fine. When
My-
you enter the room. Oh, sorry. It's not very good. I know. When you enter the room, you're looking for something. You're looking around for something out of the ordinary. But even though it's not spotting, it's the closest thing to perception I can go with. You smell something in the air. And it's two things that you, as a former naval officer, would have noticed. Number one, you smell like this ozone, like electrical discharge in the air. Like you can smell that smell of an electrical room. that like sparking in the air. 2, you also get a whiff of seawater. The smell of salty air. It's very brief. It's like it's just there and then it's gone.
Why? Anybody else smell that?
What is
Apparently
it that
not.
you
Now
smell?
what?
Seawater. There's some seawater in there.
Seawater? You mean like the shore?
Yeah.
I don't smell anything
I
like
don't know.
that. I smell dust.
That's all I can smell too.
It's gone now. It's gone. I mean, it was only a
Is
few.
it someone's
like
cologne?
It's not cologne. I've
Eau
been in the
d'Aqua.
Navy for about how many years? Like
20.
20 years. I can't. That smell has stuck with me, and it's definitely seawater or something like it.
Well, I don't smell any seawater. I don't see any either.
Yeah, and there's another thing is smells something like something's burned, electric fire or something.
Well, we
I
should
smell
probably
tons of
check.
that.
Mr. Hardley should probably check that out. There are some rat holes in the wall there. Make sure they're not gnawing on
That's
the.
normal. That's normal. Old building.
Yes, but they could be chewing on the wiring and causing a short. We don't.
I'm
want
sure
the
that's what it is, but they're probably not calling Mr. Steele.
No,
so,
but we don't want the building burned down.
Mr. Harley, check that phone line. Or
Certainly. Is it okay,
wall.
Mr. McIntosh, if I use my handkerchief to pick up the phone just for dial tone?
Sure.
All right, cool. I just want to check. All right, so I'll pick it up.
Yep.
dial 9 to get an
Well, it's
outside
not a-
line.
It's not a crime scene. We just wanted to see if somebody had made
Is
a
it-
phone call.
Is there a dial tone?
There's a hum. Yes. There's a hum that goes back to it's the normal hum you get in all of your phones that you can type in the extension because it's just a like 123 333 and it goes to
Okay.
another phone within the system. So
So
yes,
all-
it is still functioning.
I'll punch and dial my office. Does it sound like the call goes through?
Yep.
Okay. And then what I'll do is I'll go to the wall jack where it's plugged in and I'll just put a tone on there. So when I go back later to the patch panel, I can verify that it is indeed coming up on line 27.
Okay. You can do that. Not
I'm
a
just
problem.
going to leave this toner here. It's putting a little sound through the line so I can check it back in the patch panel later on.
But everything seems normal. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Hardley?
Yep, it's just the phone's patched still. Don't know why it wasn't taken down, but it's not doing any harm.
Well, gentlemen,
Mr. Who would it be? I'm sorry. Mr. Katya, could you please make a roll against your spot hidden?
Okay. Oh, it's not very good. He's too busy looking at his petticoat. Oh wow! Let me see. I made it by 2 points. Normal pass.
Easy enough. Well, they're fixated on the phone and dust and such. You actually look at the wire that's going from the phone up the wall, back down, and you notice the wire actually goes out the hole that the rat hole is created. So the rat has dug a hole in the wall, like to get in. The wire goes through it, and the thing that you notice that's very interesting from your previous job, you had your previous place of work, there was a problem with rats at one time chewing through all the wires. They were always chewing through wires, and oddly enough, here's a rat that chewed a hole in a wall, but didn't touch the wire that was going through the same location of the wall.
James, what do you think of that over there? A rat that doesn't chew wires, but chews holes for the wires to go through. That's not right. Sure, it's not.
That's not right. Here, hand me a flashlight. Let me check it out.
Yeah, I passed him the flashlight.
So what are you saying? We've got a smart rat?
A rat that doesn't like wires.
Who knows? It might be a squirrel or something.
Mr. Coburn, don't get your suit dirty.
It's fine. I can get it.
What Mr. Hadley's here for.
If you brought me along to let me do some work, I'll get some work done. I'm gonna look through the hole with the flashlight.
It's at the back of the building. It's drywall or panel board or something like that. Wainscoting over top of drywall. The hole goes right through the wainscoting, through the drywall, plaster inside. And when you look through the other side, you're looking into a wall cavity. Brickwork's like an arm's length away. You can probably touch the brickwork of the exterior wall, and you notice it's the same brickwork the exterior wall is made of. And it's cold, cool air blowing up through. So it's cold, musty kind of smelling air. And now you actually don't have to roll for it, but for the briefest of moments, you actually can smell the salty smell again.
All right, there's definitely something ocean-like down there.
Water be seeping in from
Ocean-like?
Salty water. That would probably be my best guess. Maybe there's some salt on the bottom floor and water's getting into it.
Maybe it's like the off-run of the sewer, and that's why it smells like that.
Mr. Hadley, make an idea roll.
Well, Lake
Sure.
Ontario. It
Yeah.
could be water from Lake Ontario.
Oh, it's an O2. I win again.
And O2, you go, snap, idea. You think to yourself, wait a minute. We store salt in a bin at the back of the Ross building in a large dumpster, probably close to where this black wall was. Maybe that's it. It's just like there's salt storage there for putting on the
And
pavement.
relate to everybody that maybe. Check
the
that
basement
out.
salt for salting the roads.
All right, so it would just be. We should probably check on that as well.
Gentlemen, I realize that you're perhaps, I don't know. I mean, I'm willing to go through the building and take a look. I don't know that you have to trouble yourselves.
Let's just quickly do it. We'll all just quickly do it.
All right.
And then the old man Steele can then sort of rest easy. Should we disconnect this phone so that no one's calling him anymore?
That might make him at ease.
I don't think that anybody called from this phone. There's no evidence that anybody's been in this room for 10 years.
I mean, technically, someone could splice the line and call in from another location, but that seems like a lot of work to do just to play a practical joke.
It's also possible that Mr. Steele's rather old and hallucinating.
But if you think checking the basement would make this a thorough job, then let's check the basement.
Yeah, sounds good to me, boss. Mr. Rumstead.
Okay, good. Let's go. Come now. Quick. We don't want to spend all evening here. I'm sure we have Christmas Eve plans.
Mr. McIntosh, as you are preparing, talking about leaving and such, you notice a file folder on top of the desk. And it has dust on it. It hasn't been touched in years. And it actually says on top of it, Frederick Ross. And in very perfect handwriting on the top, Frederick Ross. It's a very thick folder.
Is Frederick the father, or is Frederick?
Frederick is the father that went missing. Daniel is the one who's also gone missing, but he's the younger.
I'm a bit curious. I'll just reach over and pick that up. And
you can flick it open.
I mean, I'm a detective, so I'm kind of interested in see if there's some mystery that I can solve. But I just pick it up quietly and I put it under my arm. I'll look at it later.
Okay. Easy enough. Yep. You have that right. You're a store detective. You picked something up and you're going to look at it later. That's fine. So what do you all wish to do now?
Shall we?
We'll go down quickly.
Yeah, head over to where the salt store just to check that area out.
Mr. Hardley is gonna now. We can figure out sort of where exactly in the basement would be directly below Mr. Ross's old office.
Oh, the salt storage is outside. It's if you were to go through that wall, you're at the back of the building and go straight down. It's outside in the parking lot against the wall.
Oh,
But right below this office, there's a window. You can probably look out and see it.
Oh yeah, let's check that out. Is there like little fire ladder escape down too, or?
There's a fire exit
Oh,
from all
heck,
of the rear windows. Okay.
I'll just go out there, check the side, see if anything's askew.
You're going to go out on a fire exit?
Yeah, just
We're
to
just
see if
gonna look
anyone
out the
broke
window.
in. I mean, just open it up, kind of step half out to see if there's any jarring. Anyone tried prying something open? Does anything look bizarre or off amiss?
Yeah, it does. When you look down at this bin, now it's a dumpster, a standard metal dumpster, big bin. Now you, over the years, along with your other people, have you've tried to make it watertight so you can store salt in it and shovel it out and put it into the spreader to go over the parking lot and such.
Yeah.
But it's been knocked askew. It is the lid is off a little bit, and as you look from above, it looks like it has been collided with. However, the strange thing is, it looks like it's been collided with from behind. So it hasn't been hit by a car. It's like something between it and the wall hit it, knocked it away from the wall a bit. And there's salt spilled out on the ground.
That's very bizarre. Well, is it easy to just sort of traverse down the fire escape, or is that going to be a big feat?
It's a big to do. You have to lower the part. And
all right. Never mind. There's something's wrong down there. It looks like somebody's been messing around. I'm going to go out and around and check this out.
Okay.
Big ass rat.
Well,
Wait, so we're all going outside now?
Well, we don't all have to go
look down
outside.
There. The whole bin needs to be resealed and repositioned. It's sticking out into the alleyway.
Does it look like the wall's been damaged of the building?
You can't see that from here.
It could
All
be
right,
an
look.
intruder.
Let's just go get our coats, and we'll go outside quickly.
Why don't I'll go down to the basement. Perhaps Mr. Kacha can come with me, and we'll go down to the basement and see if there's been any damage to the inside of the building. And you guys can go outside and check the salt.
Perfect.
Perhaps somebody hit it with their car.
I'll probably come with Hank and David. You guys might need some muscle.
All right.
I'm thinking there's a homeless person somewhere in there.
You think there's a homeless person in the building?
We'll find out.
From what he described to us, there could be.
It doesn't look like
1975. You don't call them homeless people.
There weren't any homeless people until Ronald Reagan took office. Now, okay, so listen.
Yeah.
I never heard the term before. Anyways, listen. I doubt that there's a vagrant living in the building, but if it would please you, please go look at the basement. I'm going to go outside with Mr. Hardley, and we're going to go look at this bin that's knocked askew. And I don't know how this is going to explain a phone call from Mr. Ross's office, but we'll go look.
Oh yeah, it still needs to be sealed up. You can't get any water in there. That's not. Just try to seal it up.
Maybe we can just throw a tarp over it. It's Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah, it shouldn't take too long to like re-secure the top. It's
all right. I'll go, Mr. Okay, I'll go with you, and then and Mr. McIntosh, you'll lead the other group down to the basement.
You can go through the tarp part of the store, pick up a new tarp.
Department.
And
tarp
I'm
department.
leaving. I'm leaving.
We're not going to open up a new tarp. That's for customers. I'm sure we have tarps.
We can use one. It'll be easy.
Oh yeah, we're just putting the top back on. It's just the top's been.
The top is askew.
Is askew. I'm just going to relatch it, put it back on, latch it back. Just nothing fancy.
All right, let's get our coats. It's cold outside.
Yeah, and I'm leaving the toner on the line, so later on I can check back at the patch.
You can pass right by. To get out to where you want to go, you have to go down to the first floor again, or anyways.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
And the first floor is where the on one side of the wall is the phone room. On the other side of the wall is the Ross building, and you can exit to look at the fire escape right there. Or not the fire escape, I'm sorry, salt storage.
Got it. Okay, so I'll just check to see if the tone's coming through as we pass through.
You pass by, the tone's going through. You can see the light. Ting.
Huh.
So
it's connected, all right. Yeah, it's not being rerouted anywhere else. That phone's connected here. That's line 27.
Now,
And-
if we're still in the Ross building, then we're going to need to take the stairs down, right? The elevator's probably not running.
The elevator is not running. Actually, the elevator works from the second floor, first floor. This is a freight elevator back and forth, which allows things to come into the Ross building, be stored, and then be moved up to the second if needed, and shuffled off to the steel building.
All right.
But to get to the basement, you need to go back to the steel building and down the stairs from the first floor down to the seasonal storage.
So we can't get to this basement of this building from this building?
Not that you know of. You've never explored it.
Okay. Odd.
It's just a way. Well, it's been converted. I mean, you've been around, and if you want to look around for it, you know that the freight elevators do not go down there any longer. The main elevators are shut off. So you could, if you turn back on the elevators, but more like the easiest way is just to go through the doors and go down through the steel building.
All right, we'll go through the steel building.
Okay, and because it's actually closer, Rumstead and Hardley, you go out the back door, and what you see is, like, you have the keys, you can access it, you go outside.
Yeah.
The bin has been pushed out from the wall. The lid is askew, as you noted before. The brickwork on the wall has been damaged. It's almost like it's been pushed out. Not very much of it. Like the bottom, like 5 or 6 rows of brick are sort of like jarred. The
like a
mortar between the bricks.
forklift, and like a forklift ran into it or something.
Like something inside hit the wall, knocked out the brickwork,
Wow.
pushed out the bin.
That's
Now
quite
that
an
would have been
impact.
from the basement. You're thinking it wouldn't have
Well,
been.
that can't be right. Is the wall always bulged like that, Mr. Hardley?
No, not that I recall. So I'll take a look in the big salt bin and just sort of, does anything look like that it fell in it, or is it just salt? I kind of poke or stir it a tiny bit. Yep, just salt.
Yep.
Just salt. All right, so I'll reattach the top and try to shove it back against the wall so it's not blocking the alleyway in the back.
I'll help. I'm quite strong.
Oh,
It's
thanks.
on wheels. It's easy enough. You just unlatch the wheels, shove the lid back where it goes. Boom. Good enough for tonight. It goes right up against the wall.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's bizarre, Mr. Rumstead. I'm certain that damage hasn't been there before. We should probably check on the inside to see what caused it.
All right, I agree. Let's go into the basement.
Yep. All right. Should I head on over? Oh, mute.
Sean, you're muted.
Yep, I see that. Sorry. I don't want people hearing me chew popcorn. One thing, Mr. Hardley, make an idea roll, please.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Of course, there.
Because you don't have a stat that says memory.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes, there is an 18. That should do it, right? 18. Yep. Sure enough, that does it.
Whoa! You were at your desk just this past week, and when you're at the desk just this past week, you do remember that somebody was saying, "Oh, did you feel that?" And you said, "Did I feel what? Did you feel that? There must have been an earthquake." And it's not unheard of for earthquakes to occur.
Yeah.
Toronto to Buffalo, Rochester, those areas around the lakes, you do occasionally. Deepest, darkest part of the winter, you hear frost quakes where the ground freezes and the buildings kind of shift a little bit. It happens in cold weather. But someone was saying that it felt like an earthquake. So in your mind, you start thinking, well, that's probably what it was.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Yeah, Mr. Rumstead. I relay that to Mr. Rumstead. Wonder if that's what it was, but we'll soon see.
When was this? When did you hear this commotion?
Oh, not that long ago. Just exactly at that point.
Like a week
Let's
ago.
go look in the basement. Let's
Yeah.
just look in the basement. Oh.
All right, easy. So you go back through to the steel building, and by this time I'll just start with the others. Mr. McIntosh, Mr. Katya, and Mr. Coburn. You've got back through the steel building, and you're on the main floor of the building. Now it's very dark. There's very little lighting in the building. Mr. McIntosh is used to this because he walks the building some nights. He stays until midnight when there's some days when there's some scruffiness outside wandering the streets. Or sometimes Mr. McIntosh is known to actually stay the night in the building when the night watchman isn't available. The night watchman is actually there walking, says, "What are you fellas up to here right now? Christmas party over?"
Yes, the party's over, but we had some evidence that there might be an intruder in the building, so we're going downstairs.
Yeah, Mr. Steele's orders.
Okay. All right. Well, I gotta do my rounds. I'll be up and down all night. If you need anything, I might be in my office at the very back, and it's right near Mr. Hardley's office. And he says, so yeah, there's not much down there. It's just a seasonal storage, but go for it. Have a nice day.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
So you go down the stairs, and there's signs on the walls that say Santaland. And when you go down, you reach the bottom of the stairs, and there's a place that has a sign. And the sign says, it's got Christmas stylized writing, and it has fancy descriptions of sugar plum fairies, like a definition of what is a sugar plum fairy, and it has a definition of what is an elf, what is a good person, what is a bad person. But that's the part that catches your eye. It's just this is an old sign that's been painted over, and somebody's rewritten it, and you can't see what's underneath, but you can see there's words underneath the paint, but you can't really read it. But it does say, welcome to Santaland for the children, please be nice, please be quiet, when your name is called, please go to sit with Santa, wait your turn, exit with your parents, enter with your parents, that kind of thing. And you get to the bottom of the stairs, and there is a curtain along one side of the wall, and you know that behind that curtain is, usually it's gone in the main time of the year, and there's seasonal storage, everything that is seasonal, whether it's summer decorations, Easter decorations, October Halloween decorations, whatever they put up for the store there. But now the main part is there's a beat up kind of hastily put together Santa's throne on stage, and there's like seating for like 5 or 6 kids, and another chair beside it where the elves would sit beside Santa's throne. And it's just like a little place where the kids come down to meet with Santa. There's piped in music, and there's a bag of gifts, like each kid gets a little token toy or some candy, that kind of thing. An orange, who knows, tangerine. That's what you see when you go down to this basement area. But you, Mr. McIntosh, you actually know that behind the curtain and to the left, there's actually another door, and that's the door that goes to the steel building.
Yes, we're heading right over here. I always thought it was odd. I know it's not your floor, Mr. Coburn, but it always seemed odd to me that we put Santa Claus down in the basement instead of right on the main floor near the door for everyone to see.
That was executive order from Mr. Rod himself, I believe.
Yeah, it's
he
always
kind
been
of
that way.
Yeah. Well, either way, you going first.
Well, follow me. Let's see. Move this out of the way. Here's the door.
It's got a giant padlock on it.
I should have a key though. We'll
Nope.
see. Nope, I don't have a key. Probably
Maybe James has one.
Mr. Hardley should have a padlock. Otherwise, who
Mr.
put the
Katya is
padlock?
with you, though. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Katya, you see it as well. Yes, it's a giant padlock, and there's a very small sign, brass, because they do trophy. There's a trophy shop next door, and someone had a sign made up that said, "No entry, except to authorized personnel, by order of Steel Ross Department Store."
Good thing we're authorized, right, fellas? I am going to try. I don't know if I have this on me. GM discretion, I guess. I'm going to take out like a little paper clip. I have it.
You have it. Yeah, you have it.
Take out a little paper clip, untangle it, wrap it around my finger, and try to lockpick it.
Go for it.
Let's go. Come on, give me a nice big 100. No, that's an extreme success on the dot.
All right, Mr. McIntosh, you see this. You see Mr. Katya walk over in his normal, slightly flamboyant, very elegantly dressed as always. Looks like a proper prima donna gentleman, which is a strange combination of words. Walks over, lock pops right open. like within seconds. There's no effort whatsoever. It's like he didn't even touch it with his other hand. Just lock pops open.
Well, Mr. Katya, you're a man of hidden talents.
I wonder where you learned how to
How
do
long
that.
have you worked here?
Oh, geez, gentlemen, come on. It's Christmas Eve. Save it for the new year.
Let's check it out and see what's inside.
I believe Hank's the only one with a flashlight, correct?
Oh, I
Yes.
see them. There they are. They're coming downstairs.
Yes, they are, because they were very quick with what they were doing.
Gentlemen, we're over here.
It just thrills me every time I come down here and I see these marvelous Christmas decorations.
They're okay. You're proud of them.
I was just saying,
They're
I always
lovely.
found it odd that Santa's in the basement. Do you have any idea why they put Santa in the basement?
But if we didn't put Santa in the basement, we'd have to move all kinds of things on the first floor.
Oh, we do that anyway for Christmas.
We'd have to move all kinds of things. No, it's tradition that Santa's kept in the basement. And besides, the children like it down here.
Well, Mr. Rumstead also knows that previously Mr. Ross had turned the entire basement of the Ross building into a Santaland. This is much smaller. This is just like the downsized.
Yeah,
Meet
back in the
Santa
day,
Land.
both basements were Santaland.
Really
There
nice.
were all sorts of activities. One year there were even reindeer. Anyways, how'd you get that padlock open?
It just popped right open.
Someone must
Yeah.
have forgotten to unlock it.
It was Liddle.
I mean, lock it.
Well, bad news. It looks like we've had some sort of a tremor or something and it's damaged the rear of the building.
Now we should take a look and see what it's like from inside here.
Back wall bulged out a bit.
What was our budget for maintenance this month? 300, 400?
Well, this would be a more serious issue that we would not deal with tonight. It's Christmas Eve. So let's just go look and make sure there's no big leak or anything. Oh, did you find a vagrant down here, gentlemen?
Not yet. We haven't gone in.
Maybe the vagrant unlocked the padlock.
Maybe.
Maybe. That would be a problem.
We unlocked the padlock. We just jimmied it and it popped open.
Oh,
All
I want
right.
to keep up with the lie.
All right.
All right. Let's just go.
You open, for the sake of time, you open the padlock, and the next room is dark. It's dark. It's dusty. No one has been in here for ages. It is as Mr. Rumstead remembers, it is the entryway to Santaland. It is where children would traditionally be brought down and left by their parents. There are places to place their boots. Normally what would happen is the children would take the boots off and put on, there's actually still slippers. They're little elf-like slippers with little bells. And the children put on these slippers to wear throughout the rest of Santaland. And their boots would be taken by staff and moved to the very far end of the building to collect where their parents would be waiting for them. There's a sign that says, "Please don booties. We don't want Santaland to get dirty. Please place a cloak over your clothing to protect you from the cold." And there are in dry cleaner bags, because they were always cleaned at the end of every season, or they were prepared for the beginning. Dry cleaner bags, they're like very thin plastic. They're falling off the clothing, but inside each one is just a cloak that children would tie around their necks to cover their upper, shoulders and arms to keep them warm in the winter time, because it's supposed to be like winter. And there's a sign: "No spitting, no cursing, no being mean to others. Listen to your elders, respect your friends, respect Santa, be nice to one another, be happy, do not be naughty." That's the sign, the rules of Santaland on the door, and that's the door. The door is at the other end, and it's a brilliant gilt, like gold embossed door frame with curved, like it's very, 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 very nice looking compared to the other Santaland next door. Effort was put into this, no holds barred.
Yeah, this sure was nice. Sure beats the Christmas float I'm working on now. But anyway, those were the days.
Things we teach our children to keep them in line.
No spitting.
So we've got 2 flashlights, right? Mr. Rumstead has one, and Mr. McIntosh has the other, correct?
Actually, make a
Let's just
spot hidden roll, Mr. Hardley.
check to see if the
Oh,
lights
sure.
work here.
All right. Okay, and there is a, oh geez, I'm just bombing out. No, that's a critical fail, 86.
That's fine. Actually, Mr. Coburn can also make a spot hidden.
Oh, that's me.
Yes, sorry.
For some
I
strange
can-
reason, we all
Learn your
forget who
name.
we are.
I do it all the time. I forget what character I'm playing.
Oh, I got a
And Tom
12.
goes, Sean, that's you.
That is a hard.
As you were walking past the seasonal displays, you noticed there was a rack of flashlights. There was also a bin of baseball bats, a bin of hockey sticks. There were costumes. There was hockey helmets. There's just, it was all the seasonal things that they would use to decorate the windows outside. But the flashlights were actually given to the children, Mr. Rumstead. You remember this as soon as it's brought to your attention, because the children were all given flashlights to take through Santaland. It was a safety precaution in case power went out.
Some of them should work. But do the lights work in here? Where's the switch? Oh, I remember where it is. It's over here against these walls.
Nope. You can just make out in the room you're in, the room where the hooks are on the wall where you're supposed to hang your coats and put on the whatever the best.
There's,
best
If there's
clothes.
damage to the building, they'll probably have to clear all of this out of here.
Well, look, here's some flashlights. I'm sure we can find a few that work. Let's just go look at the building.
Hope that mouse
Would you-
didn't shoot through the walls. That could just
If a
destroy
mouse
it.
did
That's
this,
my
I don't
opinion.
want to meet the mouse because it's sizable.
Yeah, I don't think mice can chew through brick.
Mouse, rat, maybe it could be a lot more. The brick part probably was the brick part probably allowed the mice in, and now they're just chewing up the place.
My
Let's hope.
guess from what you guys described, it sounds like something large must have fallen over down here. And
Well, let's
the
just
brick
go
wall.
look.
Start
Yes.
heading towards the back.
I might know this place the best of all of you, so
You
just
do.
follow me.
Yes, Mr. McIntosh was never in here, but you definitely were in here.
So I'll just sort of make my way over to the area where I think
where
the
there's
damage
yeah.
will be.
Okay. Well, you have to go through, there's a number of rooms, and each room, it's been partitioned off to be Santaland, and you know that this wasn't touched after the death of Mr. Ross. So,
All right.
or no, the disappearance rather of Mr. Ross.
If there's a vagrant in here or a bum, I need to search every one of these rooms. David, I need you to hold the flashlight. I grab one of the hockey sticks just in case.
Just
You
in
can each
case of
have a
what?
flashlight. You can each have
You
one.
know, make a shot on goal.
in
Hey,
case he
if the-
needs to pummel someone.
If that's homeless person's on any type of drugs, bare fists are gonna be worthless.
My, we have quite the imagination, Mr. Coburn.
He grew up on the
Hey.
rough side of Toronto.
Yeah.
Apparently.
All of Toronto's
It's
the rough
cold.
side.
It's probably just looking for some shelter. If it isn't.
Do be careful, Mr. Katya.
Yeah.
I'm
At the-
sure
at
we
the
don't
mention
have.
of-
I'm sure there's not a vagrant person. I'm sure
Trials
something
in the
fell
Navy,
over.
sir.
Perhaps a stray elf.
Yeah, at the spake of a big rat, I think I'll grab a hockey stick as well.
Now, gentlemen.
If you guys were playing Americans, you'd be grabbing bats, but okay.
Yeah, see, we're being in character. We're grabbing the
That's
hockey
right.
sticks.
Well,
Okay.
we're not going to need hockey sticks unless a game spontaneously erupts. All right, well, let's
Okay.
go. Can we proceed, please?
You can proceed in the next room. In the very next room, you open the door, and when you open the door, you can see that one of the lights is actually flickering just a bit. And Mr. Hardley, you actually think to yourself, you look back in the other room, you go, well, the light switch, you look back and you have the fluorescent bulbs in there, they're probably just burnt out. were there fluorescent bulbs? The bulbs. We'll just say the bulbs. The bulbs were probably burnt out in the fixtures because I can't remember if there were fluorescent lights when I was a kid. So probably were. So the bulbs were probably burnt out, you think, perhaps, because you know that there's power to the basement for the sump to make sure the building doesn't flood when the water, it rains a lot. So you don't think power was ever turned off to the building. Likely they just let the bulbs run out. That's what you kind of think. But in this room, when you flick on the light switch, it's just flickering. This room is very dark, and it's very dark. And there are stars painted on the walls, and there are ornaments hanging from strings. Some of them have fallen to the ground and broken. They're all glass ornaments. And there is carpeting on the floor that's like a green shag to look like grass. But it just says, "Welcome to Santaland" on the far wall. And on the wall to your right, which would be the southeast east wall, there's a doorway. And the doorway is an arch. And it's Santa, onward to Santa. And it says, "Entering the magical forest."
Follow me,
So,
gentlemen.
All right.
Sorry, I should have said, "And you can open the door." So
Hank, you want to go in first?
I wonder why they stopped doing all of this. Well, Mr. Rumstead seems to know the way.
Yeah, I'm happy to go further. We just didn't have that. When Mr. Ross disappeared, Mr. Steele didn't have it in him to go through all of the. I mean, this was quite a lot of work to run this, and Mr. Steele didn't really have him in it. And then as things went on, we sort of revamped a small part of it, which you are all familiar with. But
Yeah,
no, I remember coming here as a youth and just the joy of Santaland.
it was Ross's passion, the Santa.
It's true.
It seems
Look, let's
so.
just go through the magical forest here on our way to Santa's, and we'll find this dry spot, this wet spot, dry spot, whatever it is. We'll assess the damage, and then we'll go home for Christmas.
you open the doorway, and again, more flickering lights. Not very many. There's a number of fixtures in the ceiling, but only 2 of them are actually flickering, just giving off just an eerie light. The air is very cold, and it smells dank, musty. The carpeting at your feet, there's been some water damage to it. It's not the nice green, thick carpeting from the previous room. And everywhere you look are artificial Christmas trees, and they've been decorated, and it literally is a forest of Christmas trees of varying heights. And they're the ones that look like they're made with toilet brushes, the plastic and such. And there's a pathway that leads off, and it curves. And Mr. Rumstead, the pathway just curves back and forth between the trees, and the children would walk through here while music played, and people dressed as elves would come out and stop them and sing songs or hand them candy for their long journey. And it was always very like the beginning of the adventure for the kids, and they would love it. But it was very dark, and on the ceiling there are stars as well, but generally the lights would be off, and the children would use their flashlights in here. So when you flicked on the lights, you actually turned on these lights.
Mr. Rumstead, I think you should see if it's in the budget that we get this all cleaned up. Seems like with these shorting lights and so forth, there's a fire hazard here.
Yeah, this is.
It should all be cleaned up.
This would definitely get us taxed over. This could just end up being horrible. No wonder why there's rats.
Yes. Oh, it's not as bad as it looks.
If you want, Mr. Rumstead, after the new year, I can go in and fix all this so it's not all flickering.
Well, I don't know if we want to spend the cost to fix it, but we could certainly. I mean, working lights would be good, and
Well, at least make sure there's no chance of a fire starting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be important.
You got it. Okay, I'll start on the new year.
Does the dampness smell salty, or is it just damp?
Make a spot hidden because there's no smell attribute.
Yeah.
Smell
Roll
hidden.
smell.
I told them they should add it on there.
Roll smell hidden.
Smell hidden.
Smell hidden.
That's like my other. I always think there should be a remembering attribute.
Well, that you
is a
can kind of
fail.
say intelligence is remembering.
That's true. That's
so-
true.
Although my character has a lot of luck, so I'll spend 18 more to succeed on that.
Ooh,
You're just flush with your luck today.
find out that
Flash
it's just salt.
That's
water.
that's your bonus gone.
Did you? How'd you do? Oh, you got a success because you spent 18 luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a faint whiff of salt. Like just it's like a when you were in the Navy and you traveled around to the western. Sorry, the eastern. You went east to India and around the Cape. You went down to the Caribbean and such. Stormy weather when the waves were bashing up against the ship and you had horsetails on the top of the waves. Just and when the mist was in the air, you could smell this salty smell. And it's certain places you can smell it on a cool, just a hot day, especially like very hot climates. You can smell it as well when you're close to the shore. But definitely, it's there in the air, this salty smell.
Okay. The salt's outside, correct? And none of it got in?
Yeah, just on the other side of the wall back there. It spilt out. And we cleaned it up a little bit and put the lid back on.
All right. There's only one more test I can do. I'm going to dunk my finger in a puddle of water and then lick it.
Okay. Roll your immunity to
Rats
disease.
pee in that. Yeah.
You can do that. Yeah, you can.
A little bit. Yeah, little rat pee.
Hey, last game someone licked a skull. I think I can do this.
We're in the basement, Daniel Boone.
Yeah, it doesn't. You don't have to roll for taste. It just tastes like yucky water that's been on concrete. It doesn't taste salty. It's in the air. Like it does taste of moldy and musty because you know where carpet used to be in that. But
Is it snowing outside? Does it snow in Toronto?
yes, yeah. Actually, in 1975 Christmas Eve, it was very cold, but it had snowed recently. I checked up.
So, anybody else smell it?
You said salt.
Yes, it still smells like sea salt. I cannot.
Do any of us smell it?
If you're all actively trying to smell it right now,
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you have if any of your characters have traveled very far. I would guess that Mr. Rumstead and Mr. Katya definitely have been near the ocean before. And yeah, now that you're thinking about it now, it's like a salty kind of smell.
A little.
A little.
Maybe it smells
Smells
a
like
little
wharf.
like the ocean.
There's a
but
big bit of salt outside, so
it could just be subliminal because you said ocean. It
No,
could just
no.
be musty basement.
I've never. This is exactly what it's supposed to smell like at the sea. Why would it smell like it here? The
The
salt's
salt?
outside. I wouldn't be able to smell it in here.
well, maybe the toilets have backed up or something. Who knows? We'll find out.
As you
Yeah.
were discussing the salty smell, you hear
I
ching,
smell the
ching, 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 the sound of bells.
Christmas
Sleigh
bell.
bells.
And around the corner in front of you, through the trees, walk three short, stocky, very scruffy, very rough looking men. Well, two men and a woman. And they are in elf costumes that don't fit them. These are like short, small adults. They look like homeless people. But they have put on these elf costumes, you assume. And they're ripped and torn and musty and dirty. And they look at you and they stop in line. You look at their eyes. Their eyes are glazed over. One of them's eyes is looking this way and the other one's looking at you. It's like there's something wrong. They are not. And
Well,
they
there's
are-
something wrong that there's people in the basement.
And they say, "You've been naughty, all of you."
Sir,
I beg your pardon. I'm never naughty.
Wait a minute.
I
Who are
told you so.
Who are you people?
You're
One's
not supposed
carrying
to be
a
down here.
piece of pipe. The other one's carrying a piece of broken wood. And the third one is carrying a wrench. And they run at you.
Oh,
my
Jesus.
God.
I'm gonna grab myself a hockey stick.
Pull my black
The
tack.
door is shut. You can't get a hockey stick now.
Oh crap!
David, it's me and you. We got to beat up some short people, I guess.
I'm going to use
So-
my size and strength to wrestle the guy's pipe away from him.
All right.
Don't be
well,
so
let's,
self-destructive.
let's
Dexterity,
do
correct?
initiative. Let's do initiative here.
All right.
I'll write mine down. It's 45.
I got a 50.
Okay.
Dex rolls.
55.
Oh, we're supposed to roll?
No. He wants to know the dex order.
55 here.
55 here as well.
Self-destructive behavior.
All right.
I'm
These look
70.
these look more like fat dwarves.
70. Not only you were a lockpick, you're quick too.
All right.
Who hired you?
That was me.
Looking here. All right. Mr. Coburn goes first. Rumstead, Katya, and Hardley goes second. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. That's wrong. Mr. McIntosh. Oh, I'm doing it in backwards order here. This is absolutely wrong. Sorry. Okay. So one of the things, it actually gets to go first. So who is actually leading up your group? Who's up front?
It was not Mr. Rumstead.
Yeah,
I think it's me.
Rumstead.
Yeah, it's
probably
he was
Mr.
leading the
Rumstead.
way.
I would.
Okay.
What's gonna
I'm right
hit me with a
behind
wrench?
I
A
was
pipe.
right behind him because we were together, and I'm following him around.
Yes, that's the way I remember it. He swings a pipe at you,
Sweet
and
Jesus.
do you wish to dodge?
No, I hit him. I'm a big fella, and a swimmer.
Okay.
Swim
He goes swimming.
at him.
I'm a swimmer, so I have big, broad shoulders. No, I hit him with a haymaker.
He's gonna swim his fist through the air.
Yeah, with a hard success.
Roll damage.
Just like this.
That's right. That's right, you little creepy elf. That's 3 points of damage.
All right.
Like this.
And he hits you for 3 as well, with the pipe. So you both take 3. It's like bonk. He's much smaller than you, so you actually do knock him into a tree. So he takes the damage. He's off his feet, down onto one knee into the trees. Now the next one is actually going after Mr. Hardley. Now, Mr. Hardley, you're at 55, and you get to go first, though.
I get to go first, and he's right on me, huh?
He's
Okay, well,
right
I'm
close,
gonna
yes.
go. I'm gonna go try to knock him out with my blackjack that quickly comes out of nowhere and. Whack.
I'm gonna guess you probably had it in your hands when you were walking around in the dark.
Wait,
when
you
were
have a
walking.
blackjack?
It's Toronto.
It's Toronto.
He's our handyman and our bouncer.
That's right.
So
I did not realize a pack of criminals worked for Old Man Steele's.
brawl.
Yes.
We were
Right.
planning on using it on you after
Boom.
we left. the
That's a
dungeon.
hard success.
Excellent.
Nice. I like my brawl. This is really pretty cool. The blackjack. Oh, I don't have blackjack damage here. Is that like a 1d4?
Blackjack
Plus 2 or-
is. I thought I had it up here on my.
No, my goal is not to kill and crush his skull. It's to knock the guy out. I don't want to kill this person because I know this could crack someone's skull wide open.
Yeah.
I'd say it's the
Well-
same as brass knuckles. 1d3 plus. Well, no, it's
Yep.
more than that. It's a club, so 1d8 plus damage bonus.
Okay.
Holy
coming.
Club would be considered a bat. The baton would
plus
actually be a D4 plus 1.
Okay, D4 plus 1. All right. Plus damage bonus.
Well, you said you have a blackjack, though, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have a
Blackjack
blackjack.
says 1d8 plus damage bonus.
That's
Yeah,
a
1d8.
koch.
Yeah, black. Yeah. Blood. Okay. All right.
Basically a
So
strap
that's
with a weight on the end of it.
6 damage.
Sorry, my bad.
I'm sorry, guy.
6 damage. Okay. I'm actually gonna.
God damn.
He takes it. You conk him partly on the head, partly on the shoulders, like a kagunk, because he's so low to the ground. But he as well goes off to the side and hits his friend, and they both go into the trees. Now the woman is now coming at the two of you, and I'm wondering who is behind you two offhand.
I was right there too. I'm the detective.
Yeah.
So.
Be the
And
detective.
she's kind of going around going after you. So what is yours? You are 50. Yeah, you get to go first as well.
Okay. I'm just gonna try. If she's running for me, I'm gonna try to subdue her,
Okay,
grapple her,
sure, you can do that.
so that she can't fight.
Okay.
That's a brawl move. And I failed.
Well, she missed you as well. I had too much commotion with the other people.
Okay.
She well overrolled, but she
So
took a
we're-
swing at you with a wrench.
All right.
Okay. What about the rest of the other two? Mr. Coburn and Mr. Katya, what are you doing?
Well, I got to go protect my boss.
That's
I'll
right,
probably
you do.
Although it's not my turn first, I believe it's the other guys.
I'm a tiny little man that works in the menswear department. I'm gonna back into the corner with the hockey stick like this.
Okay, that makes sense. Yep,
Yeah.
you're backing away, and they're not going after you immediately because you're towards the back to begin with. So, Mr. Coburn, you go ahead. You have
I'm
your
gonna
choice.
turn-
There's two on the ground, and there's one who's just swung around the other side of Mr. McIntosh.
All right, before I do anything, I'm going to turn to him. I'm going to tell the ladies you did that, David, and charge the fourth and help Mr. Rumstead.
Okay.
I'm
There's only
going...
three. There's three. There's three of these creatures or things.
All right. Which one's after Mr. Rumstead?
The one it was knocked to the ground. It's in the trees. It's just trying to get up right now.
Get the one who's swinging a wrench at me.
Yeah, there's the only one standing is the one right now that's swinging the wrench at Mr. McIntosh.
All right, then I'll hit that guy.
Okay.
It's a woman.
It's a woman. Yes.
I'll hit the thing.
You've been naughty if you hit a woman.
Yeah.
That's why I'm using a hockey
That was
stick.
rule
It
number
doesn't
10.
count.
You're
Yeah,
hitting a
girls.
girl with a hockey
That's
stick?
that's why I
What-
just tried to
what's-
subdue her.
Barbarian art.
My character's very not PC. I rolled a 15. My brawl is 40, so that is a hard.
All damage.
Wow, all of us are getting
Hockey
hard,
stick would do the same as a bat, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
1d8 plus 1d8 plus your damage.
Plus damage. Yep.
What is my damage?
It's down at the bottom corner.
I don't have any. I'm too old. 7 damage.
Ooh.
Jeez.
She goes down like a sack of potatoes. Conk to the floor. The other two are trying to get up right now. So
Oh, when
Just
he
caved
hit
her
her,
skull in.
when he hit her, we all went,
yeah.
That's what you get for being in my neighborhood.
Major.
My job.
Wait, who are you people? What are you doing down here?
They're just getting up to naughty, 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 naughty.
They just keep saying naughty.
Yeah, they're getting up to attack you. They're saying naughty.
They're clearly on drugs.
Their eyes are totally not right.
Mr. Katya, see if you can
What do you
find
mean their
something
eyes
that we
aren't
can
right?
tie them up.
They're glazed over,
Will do.
not looking straight out of their heads.
There must be Christmas tree light strings all over the place.
What
Or
was
cancel.
the thing everybody was smoking in the 70s? Horse tranquilizers. They've got to be high on horse tranquilizers.
That's that stuff they've been. It's opium. It's got to be that opium.
This isn't the 1800s.
PCP.
That's what it is. PCP. Who said that?
It's Quaaludes.
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 That was late 70s.
There you-
Well, I guess
Quaaludes,
probably
there.
same. Yep.
Oh, I remember
Goofball.
Quaaludes. Anyways, well, I thumped the other one. I thumped the one that won't respond politely.
Go for it.
Oh, I fell over into a Christmas tree.
Well, you swing and miss because they're low to the ground. You're up tall.
Oh,
Okay.
a wild haymaker.
They keep swinging like.
Oh. Well, this one swings at you. You take another point of damage. It conks you in the knee, upper
Ugh.
your knee and your.
Oh, it's my swimmer's knee.
All right, Mr. McIntosh. The next one, it's you. It's you.
Macintosh. Oh, the one that I
Oh.
Oh, I'm
previously
sorry, it
did.
was
Me.
Mr. Hardley. I'm Mr. Hardley.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
sorry.
going to say.
Oh, so he's trying to after I smashed him. Okay, I
Yeah,
feel
he's
kind of bad.
crawling. He's swinging at. He's just crazy, swinging at your legs.
All right, I'll try this. All right. Do
You can
I,
roll to subdue. You can.
Yeah,
you
I'm
can
gonna
roll
roll to
to do
subdue.
damage.
I don't want to, because I feel like that last hit was really pretty heavy. If I do it again, I could kill the guy.
You
So
can
I'm-
attempt. Yeah.
I'd
Come
like
on.
to
Kill
attempt
him! Kill
Mr.
him, Mr. Hardley.
Mr. Katya is getting us some Christmas tree lights to tie them up with.
I'm trying to. I'll do try to subdue, get behind him, grab his arms, pull him back.
Okay, roll, brawl,
Here we
grapple.
go. That's okay, 34. Okay, so that's a good success, solid success.
No, it tries to get away from you, does not. You actually apprehend it. It's just wiry. It's like trying to grab onto a big bulldog. Just
So I'll do the blackjack up under him, and just not crushing his throat, but just saying, calm down, we're not gonna kill you.
Okay, it's just writhing and going crazy. Okay, so you're doing that. Now, Mr. McIntosh, the other one, are you going to try to grapple the other one, you said?
Yes, I've told Mr. Katya to get some Christmas tree light string so that we can tie these people up.
Yep, easy enough.
Yeah. I'll do that on my turn in the initiative or whatever way you want to do it.
I got a 13 on grapple, so that is actually that's almost an extreme, but it's
Okay, you've got a hold of it. It's writhing and trying to get away. It smells terrible. And Mr. Katya, you've got some Christmas tree lights. So you're moving in that direction as well. So you two are now. It would be Mr. Coburn, I guess, would be next.
I'm wondering if after we tie them up, we should plug the Christmas tree lights in. And it calms them down.
Especially if they flash a lot.
I'm trying not to laugh so much.
We didn't have the flashy ones in 1975.
So both of the dwarfs are basically
The first two are grappled. There's the third one, the female one, is still up. Well, she's been knocked down, but she's trying to get up again.
Brained her.
Yeah, there's probably like gray matter leaking out of her ear.
Wait, that's the one I hit before? I thought I knocked out someone.
That's the one that
Yeah.
Okay.
that
You
James
hit the
hit.
little girl with the.
Oh, that is right.
Naughty.
Canadian Navy, motherfuckers.
Canadian Navy.
I'm just going to put. Am I a big guy? Let me check.
What's your size?
I'm a decently big guy. I'm just going to put a foot on her chest and kind of like in a grappling state, make sure she won't get back up.
You want to incapacitate her. Roll to grapple. Whatever you get, that will do whatever you wish to do if you're successful.
I can't believe there's actually vagrants high on PCP in the basement.
Dressed as
82.
Dressed
She
as
probably,
elves.
as I do it, she probably like rolls over.
She rolls over. Okay. So the other two, I'll just say, you guys are able to hold them still. Mr. Koch is running trying to tie them up, and you're successful in that aspect. So the first two are dealt with. But while you were dealing with them, the other one is still up and about. So now you all have to face the fact that there's a third one who's not tied up, and she's relatively quick. So she is definitely going after you, Mr. Coburn. So that's a hit. She's going after your knees, though. You take 2 points of damage. She cranks you in the knees with a wrench.
2 points of damage.
Yep.
I was gonna say, can I dodge?
Yeah, you can dodge it. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I should have said that.
Okay, that's an /7. That is an extreme.
You're like Spider-Man. Okay, you're out of the way. So she swings in the air. It would have cranked you right in the knee and done 2 points of damage, but boom, right through the air. So you're out of the way. Now, you guys are still fighting. The others have tied up these other ones. I will just assume, for the sake of time, between the remainder of you, you're able to surround her, grapple her, take her weapon away, and tie her up. So you have 3 of them tied up, and all they're saying is, naughty, naughty. You will be punished. Naughty, naughty.
Who are these people?
We're not.
I don't know,
naughty.
but can one of you guys help me out?
You're
Crazy
the
homeless.
guys. You attacked us. We're not naughty. You're naughty.
They just continue to repeat it for about another couple, like 5 minutes or so. Then they go silent.
Wait, I'm still fighting one.
Oh no! I said that, but for the sake of time, everybody's able to assist.
Yeah, we've subdued them all. We've got them all tied up.
You can have them all subdued. You
We've
haven't
got
killed
They
any
have.
of
Wait,
them.
where are their regular clothes? What are they wearing? Like old costumes they found down here?
They're wearing old costumes over top of their regular clothing. Yes, and their regular clothing is homeless person clothing. These are people, vagrants from the street, or from the nearby encampment under the train bridges down the way.
There may be more. Let's check on.
They go to sleep. This is the thing. It's not like they pass out where they go. Oh, it's just like all of a sudden their eyes close, they're asleep.
What in the world?
We should call the police. They need psychiatric help. They might need to be get a shelter, but they need to. They're dangerous.
Is anyone hurt?
I
No.
believe you are.
I'm hurt.
Here, I had some medical training. Let me just go get some ice for your wound.
That's
You
your
can
medical
go back.
training to put ice on it?
Hey, it's good enough for now.
You can't go back the way you came. You try the door. The door is locked.
I'm really medically trained. I've got
Someone locked us in.
Here.
Let's move on and see if there's more of these people.
No, we're getting the cops. It's not our job to fight these guys.
But it is our store.
There's no phone.
And I want to make sure that there are no more vagrants that are high on PCP and wearing elf clothes in the basement.
Hey, one of them could be American and brought a gun.
Yes, one of them could be, Mr. Coburn.
Mr. Coburn, did you
gotta-
say the door was locked?
Yes. Hey, David.
I'd like to quickly patch you up, Mr. Rumsfeld. I got a clean handkerchief here just to kind of quickly patch you up, if I could.
Well, thank you, Mr. Hardley.
All right, do a.
Yep. Roll a first aid.
Oh, nice. 12 out of 45 on the first aid. That's a hard.
Good.
Oh. Feels a little better. Thank you, sir.
Got it.
How many
All right,
points is it?
look. Let's just continue on to the back of the building to make sure that we have this situation addressed.
Yeah.
All right, but we still locked in. Someone locked us in.
The door just latched behind you. It's to
Oh.
prevent, Mr. Rumstead knows, it's to prevent the children from running out the other way and telling all the secrets of Santaland to the kids behind them. They would be.
There's other ways out. Don't panic, please.
The way
Just
out is
follow
through.
All righty, thanks for explaining that, Mr. Rumstead. I
I don't think
I
they're
all of our nerves are a little on edge after we've been attacked by vagrants.
all right. Who here's had fighting training other than me?
Well, I am a security guard, so
Yeah.
No, I haven't had any fighting training. What are you doing?
No, I'm not like fighting. I'm not, just east side Teresa. That's all. I mean,
I'm also a 70 strength with a 75 size.
Yeah, I'm
All right.
huge too.
I've got a damage bonus.
All right,
As
but
do
Mr.
I.
Rumstead, you're a boss. You stay behind. Hank,
I'm not
come with
accustomed
me.
to taking direction from you, Mr. Coburn.
Well, I'm sorry, but
our shift ended a while ago. Nobody's giving directions to anybody.
I'm sorry, Mr. Rumstead, but you are an asset that we require. We cannot have you damaged.
No, that's true. I do not want to be damaged.
Yes.
All right. For the sake of time,
So
you can move
close.
on. How's
Yeah,
that?
let's continue on.
You continue on. You get to the
Mr.
next
Katya,
door.
you appear to have escaped unscathed.
Well, he
Oh
got
wow,
the,
how
he,
fortunate.
he was getting the Christmas tree ornaments.
He did. He got the ornaments and tied up the creatures.
My job was security there. Nah.
Give someone else that hockey stick.
All right.
Yeah, I can barely hold it. There you go.
Yeah, give it to Rumstead.
You wig-wag through the trees and you get to the next door. On the next door, over top of the door lock and handle, there is a puzzle. And it is one of those puzzles where you move pieces to fit together to make a an image. So who would like to make the intelligence roll
and solve the puzzle
and
box.
solve the puzzle.
We can't open the door?
No.
I don't remember this from my youth.
Oh, this was
Right.
new. This newly added.
I
I
might
can
as
figure
well
this
do
out.
something. I might as well do something useful here, chaps.
Apparently, they used to torture
Right.
children down here.
Something more useful than pick the store's locks.
You want to see Santa? You
Yeah,
gotta solve the
that's a pass.
Easy. It's like 6 pieces. Pop, 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 pop. Takes you like 30 seconds. And when you make it together, or when you put it together, you can just open the door. Now,
What's it a picture
What's
of?
it a picture of? Yeah.
a sugar plum. Of course.
Naturally.
Of course it was. With some bells around it. So you enter the next room, and of course, above the door, just so you know, it says, entering the hills. Hold on. I should have actually read that first.
The fairy plump.
Oh, the hills of the tundra. The hills of the tundra. And which is hilarious because the tundra is actually flat mostly. So you open the door, and inside, it's all these humpy hillocks of artificial hills, along with some cutouts of mountains that are like across. So to a child entering this under the right lighting conditions years ago, this would have looked like you're in like some snowy, hilly place with some cutout trees and some fake snow on the ground. But generally, it just looks like like a hilly place. And you can see on the far side, there's light around a door. There's a door frame, and around that door, you can actually see light peeking out around the edges of the door. It's not.
That's probably where they were doing their drugs, I bet, Mr. Rumstead.
But there's a smell. You all smell it.
Is PCP burning?
Rotten meat. It's like rotten meat, like roadkill. And there's a sign, ka-tunk, it's sideways, or dramatically sideways into a hill. And it says, beware of the tundra animals.
Oh Jesus!
What
how
type
much?
of?
How much money did Ross and Steele spend on this every year?
Oh, this was a big deal.
I
This
mean,
was
a
a big
really
deal.
big deal.
Second to none, I tell you, second to none.
Well, the tundra animals, when I was a child, were not that fierce. I mean, they would chase us a bit, but
Squirrels.
Something
It was
stinks in
junior
here.
staff members dressed as snow foxes, snow wolves, bears.
Snow alligators.
No one got hurt. Not like those crazy elves back there, but those are just.
they weren't elves. They were just vagrants. Come on, let's go.
All right.
Just go head for that door.
All right,
What
forward.
if they were employees that they just never fired?
They never paid. All right, forward to the door.
They're just angry elf midgets. It's
They
fine.
never left. So you start walking. You have to go over the hills, and there's pathways
Yeah.
over the hills so that you're not just damaging the fake snow. It's in kind of rough condition. There's little piles of dusty snow-like material between the hills. Probably something safe like asbestos or something. And up and over the hills, Who's up? I would say, are you still the same people up front, Mr. McIntosh up front, along with?
No, I think. Well, we've definitely pushed Mr. Rumstead back because he was injured.
Yeah, he
Yes.
got the heaviest injury. I'll be second behind you, Hank.
I'll be third.
Horace is there too. We're the big guys.
Okay, both of you, the two up front, roll a spot hidden.
96. I'm the
70.
worst detective on the planet.
75. I was looking at the back of Hank's head.
Okay.
Hey,
Well, who is Mr. Coburn's third? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Mr. Coburn also gets to make a spot hidden now.
This is the back of both of our heads.
No, you're looking all around.
You're muted, the major.
Sorry, I was making a joke on how I'm going to fail it, which I did.
Oh no, you're looking at the back of my head.
Remember, I'm a lucky person.
Oh,
I'll spend 72 luck.
I spent
That's what I
10
would
luck
spend.
to make. Wait, is it 10 luck? Let me double check.
Well, you won't be using it after tonight.
Yeah, spend 10 luck to make it a pass.
Easy enough. To the right, you see standing on one of the hills, maybe 30 feet away, 3. Scruffy, bedraggled fur is wet and like matted, and the eyes are like, "Ah!" Not unlike the elves. Raccoons, and they're
Are they
covered in that
attractive?
white. They're covered in that white stuff, and they're looking at you. They're sniffing the air, and they come running towards you guys.
But you don't mean real raccoons. You mean people in raccoon suits?
No, these are raccoons. These are actual raccoons.
Well, this is actually terrifying.
Yeah.
Now, I have a high charm.
That'll help.
Who do you think you are, Jason?
I didn't expect this to be so comedic.
All right.
Well, they're running at you. They're 30
Oh my
feet
God.
away.
I start screaming, charm them, Mr. Hardley. Charm them.
Kick
Now, it's
them.
taken a while because the raccoons are not super fast. No.
If they come
still
anywhere
coming.
near me, I'm just going to kick one as hard as I can.
Oh, they're definitely running at you. They're I will find out. Actually, one of them is going right at Mr. McIntosh. The second one is going after who else? Who's up front? Mr. Hardley. The third one is also going after Mr. Hardley.
That was, yeah, the charm, obviously attractive.
005
You attract them. Yes, that's correct. Okay.
to kick one.
You're kicking one.
Oh, yeah,
Beautiful.
I'm just going to haul off and kick it as soon as it gets near me.
Roll damage. Beautiful. They do not.
That'd
Have
be like a club.
Yeah, they don't have high initiative.
Wait, oops, I hit that.
I think I'll have a candy cane.
Six.
Nice. Poor little raccoon.
It flies through the air. Mr. Hardley, there's one coming. Two of them coming after you right now.
All right. Well, I'm gonna
Hockey
try
stick
that
before.
that spin kick I've always learned because I don't want to get that close with my hands.
Maintenance
'cause
man foo.
Yeah, here we go. Spin kick. Oh, 37. Okay, wait a minute. Just so I can make sure the spin kick works, I want to make this a hard success. Brawling. 20. Oh, that is a lot of luck, though. No, okay. Let's go with just a regular success.
Okay, roll damage.
All right, and a kick is that's just the regular, like a punch.
It'll actually add +1.
All right.
It's a little more powerful. Your legs are
Okay,
more powerful.
four damage.
Okay, punt. It bashes off down down the hill the other way. Now there's a third one coming after you, however. Well, that's a yep. So it latches onto your leg, and it's going.
Ow! You damn rodent! Ah, get off me!
Ooh, 2 points. It's just digging right into your leg. Ah.
Dirty! I need tetanus shot. Damn it!
They're rabid. They're rabid.
Rabies shot.
Yeah, rabies. Yeah, rabies.
He's gonna need that anti-drug stuff. They're clearly on PCP.
Can we? I don't have a weapon, so if somebody wants to hit it with their hockey stick,
Yeah, that's
possibly hit Mr. Hardley with their hockey stick.
Yeah, it's on me. It's sinking its teeth in. I'm
Yep.
gonna have to.
Go for
Critical
it, whoever.
fail, and you hit
Mr.
Mr.
Coburn.
Hardley in the head.
You can.
Yes.
You have a chance. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm like, if I see you coming over with the, I'm like kind of sheltering my skull.
Yeah, I'm just gonna aim for your leg. If push comes to shove, I'm gonna break your leg. Don't worry about it.
Christ.
Ot 2. That is
Oh,
an extreme.
God.
So I
Roll
just do
damage.
8 damage.
You brain the thing, and this raccoon is drops shaking on the ground. So that one's dead. The other two are Roland's rolling down the hill. One's still flying after the wonderful kick, but they're actually coming back at you. So next turn, the raccoons are coming. The other two are coming at you, and they it's strange. Covered in the fake snow like they are, they almost look like small little Arctic animals. But they come running at you, and their blood dripping down their mouths or out of their ears.
Still? Jeez.
They're not dead. They're getting close. They're not
They're
running
very determined.
fast. They're very determined. It's like they're rabid or something. So who's they're just running towards the group of you. So I will give you guys initiative.
Kicking works really well.
Is there one still chewing on Mr. Hardley?
No.
No,
No,
I
it's
killed
Oh
it.
no, the major like sent it sailing
Oh, that's right. That's right.
to its
Splattered it.
death.
Oh yeah, it's completely just gone.
Splatted. Good hit, Major.
Well, Major, hit that other one that's running at us.
Sounds good.
Roll. You'll probably have a dramatic miss. Because of
What's
roll.
the
There's two
word you
rolls.
would say when you hit a puck? Like 4. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go for
yell out
4.
4. That's what we all do.
Fuck
Yeah,
you. Mr.
45. I missed by 5.
No.
Mr. Katya, would you please get down off of that table?
I'm just
Dancing
dangling
around
my
hiding.
blazer off and like shooing them. Get away from me.
Well, you do have a hockey stick. You can hand it to someone else. If you...
I think we already gave
Oh,
it to
I think I already did hand it to did
Oh, I
someone not
thought
take it
2
off
of you
me?
had them. Okay. I thought 2 of you had hockey sticks.
Yeah. Basically, I said, David, give it to Mr. Rumstead. You're useless.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I have a hockey stick.
You do
Yeah.
now, yes.
Oh,
Nice.
I hit a raccoon.
Yeah.
Roll to hit. Why not?
Go, Mr. Rumstead.
Jesus.
I dive,
99.
yeah,
Oh shit!
I dive out of the way as Mr.
Yeah.
Rumstead
You
swings
trip over
that
the blue
thing.
line.
Not me.
All right.
Sorry, Mr. Hardley.
Do
You're
I
on the
do I
bench.
get injured? Do I take damage?
Oh, it's
He
not on
still
your leg
leaves the
anymore. This
raccoons
one's
there and
loose.
hits it.
Okay. Anybody else going to take a swing or a kick?
Sure. I will. I
I'll
will
do a
with-
kick
with
as
the-
well.
with the-
You can both go ahead. You can each
All right.
go after the other one.
all right.
Hockey wasn't my sport, really. Swimmer.
I got a hard.
Okay.
No regular here. Regular hit.
As long as you don't roll a 1, you've taken them out. That's fine.
All right.
Another 6.
Dead.
Knock its head off.
All right. So the crazy rabid snow raccoons are shuddering on the floor, and you're in your minds. You get the heck out of here. And you run to the door where the light is, thinking, "This is a door. It's there's light on the other side of this. We got to go through here."
Wait, how bad is Mr. Hardley hurt?
Hardly.
He's just been bit.
But he's been bit by a rabid raccoon.
Well, we can't
Here.
do anything about it. We'll take him to the doctors.
Yeah, I'll get to the doctors and get a shot, get it cleaned out. But yeah, we just need to
We
get out.
have to. Wait, do you know which one bit you?
Yeah, that one there.
We have to take it. They can test its corpse for rabies.
Oh yeah.
Or we could just give him a rabies shot no matter what. He'll be fine.
Well, a rabies, it's 14 days of shots in the stomach, and they're quite painful. However,
Let's-
therever after, you will be immune from rabies. But let's
Oh.
just take the corpse.
Yeah. Well,
You
that's
can
easy
drag it.
enough.
That's
I'll
easy.
The
take
carcass.
like
We'll
Well,
take the
well-
carcass.
We'll wrap it up in Christmas paper.
Yeah, like Santa's sack or something.
Oh, I
with the
broke it.
Christmas
now.
lights.
Do that. All right. You can take it with you if you want. You can drag it behind you. I don't care. It's whatever you like. So you get to the next door, and there's another puzzle on the door. So who's going to roll to solve the puzzle?
I'll get it this time, boys.
All right.
I was valedictorian.
What's happening here? I don't remember any of this from my youth.
Hot
Who set up
5,
this-
extreme excess.
It's a
Doors open.
Christmas adventure.
At this time, it's a picture of an igloo, and a pole in the back, red and white, like a barber's pole, but it has a big N on the top of it for north. So you open the door, and this room is completely bare on the floor. It's shiny, slippery looking glass.
And the lights are on.
On the far wall, now this is one, there's a little bit of a flickering light, and you all enter the room, and there's a sign that says beware of slipping on Lake Happiness. And it's an artificial lake made of like glass or plexiglass or something like that, and underneath it normally would have been blue painted floor because it's raised up a little bit from the normal floor. But everybody roll a spot hidden.
Hey, I failed it again with the 97.
You're focused on your
Normal
leg.
success.
It's a fail.
Fail.
Right. Only one of you got it. Okay. You all enter the room. You're like, oh, there's another door at the end that says Santa's Workshop. You can see that from where you are. You move in. Only Mr. Coburn glances down and notices that beneath this glass surface, there's rats everywhere just running around underneath the floor, like underneath the glass. Rats. And yes, their eyes look kind of messed up. So you're looking at this and your immediate thought is, I don't want to break that because there's rats throughout this whole floor. And as you enter the room and you shut the door behind you, against the back wall, light bursts forth and it says, witness the Aurora Borealis. And normally, Mr. Rumstead, you remember this. They actually did have some flashing lights that were just colored cellophane over top of lights they would turn on to make the walls look like the Aurora, the Northern Lights. But this is weird. This is like not what you would you remember, because this actually looks like the Northern Lights glowing, hanging above the doorway. So everybody, could you please make I guess the most appropriate thing would be a Constitution roll.
03.
07.
Wasted.
I got an extreme success.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Extreme success.
I lost my D10 dice. Give me a second.
It was a 90.
I got it. It's 38. Normal.
Okay. It doesn't look right to you guys. It doesn't look like regular light. But when you concentrate at it, you all start to feel a little bit like when you would imagine watching like the Amazing Kreskin on TV, who none of you know who he is probably.
I know who he is.
Oh, you know who he is. It's like watching that where you would hypnotize people, where you start to feel kind of like, whoa, like woozy, like you've had a couple drinks really quickly and they're just hitting you. And you shake your head, you shake it off, and no, that's wrong. And then it's just light. It's just light at the end of the hallway. And it's not what you thought it was. So but now you've all noticed that there are rats under the glass floor. So the way out is the door where it says Santa's Workshop.
Let's hurry up and get the hell out of here.
Wait. We're all big guys, though. Several of us are quite big.
One of us isn't. I look at David.
So
That's
we
tough
sent
to
him
do.
out first.
Yeah, just go one at a time, not all at once.
Yes, let's send David first to make sure it can take anybody's weight at least.
We could also walk along the edges where it's,
There's got to be supports underneath it or
structural
something.
integrity.
There are supports, yes. It's definitely, you can see the floorboards underneath the joists and such.
Walk along the support floorboards.
All right, so let's sort of split up and spread out. And it's a good idea, I think, if Mr. Katya goes first.
Are there just a few rats here and there, or is this like a floor of rats?
Where you're standing, if you look around, you count at least 10 from just where you're standing. They're just milling
Jesus
around.
Christ.
They're looking up at you. But if you're going to do that, that's fine. Everybody just make a dexterity roll because the floor is slippery. It's like there's almost like there's an oil on top of the glass.
Oh, yeah.
Was Mr. Ross insane?
36 out of 55. Pass.
Fail.
It fell crooked, so I'll take the highest number, which is still a 28.
That's a
I'm
hard
crossing
success
it
for
like
me.
this.
Hard success for me.
Normal.
All right, Mr. McIntosh, you're the only one who failed.
Yep.
So, what's your size again?
I'm a 75.
You're huge.
Yeah, big like linebacker. But
You're all tiptoeing across. Now, it's not so slippery that you can't run. It's not so slippery that you can't move. It's just slippery that it makes it difficult to move without falling. And you're moving across, and halfway across, Mr. McIntosh goes, shoop, boom, lands on his back. And you see the glass go, spider cracks forming, moving out from where he is.
And probably a lot of blue language comes out of my mouth that I would never normally say.
Oh, normal. Yes, absolutely.
Blue language.
Yeah. Bordel de putain de merde. That's in French.
So we should slowly step away.
Yes, move. Stay away from
Leave
Mr.
him to his
McIntosh.
fate.
Mr. McIntosh, can you crawl over near us?
Of course I can. Do I do damage from falling?
You don't take any actual damage. You're not falling very far. It's just a slip and fall, and your butt
Do the
glass
rats
cracks.
do the rats congregate underneath him?
Mm-hmm. Yes, they do. They're running underneath the glass. The glass is not broken yet.
Yet.
I'm just
Why
saying
aren't they
it hasn't.
scared away? But okay,
Their eyes look wrong.
I'm gonna try to get up.
No, crawl.
Make one more dex. Well, you choose what you're going to do, but it's a dexterity roll if you're going to get up. If you crawl, it's not.
But you go slow.
Well, I'm gonna crawl until I'm on glass that's not broken, and then I'm gonna stand up.
All right, that's easy enough. You do that. You stand up. The glass behind you is starting to actually break now. The glass, the glass pieces of it. Ching, 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 ching,
Shit.
ching,
I shuffle towards the exit.
Let's get out of here.
Okay.
Shuffle.
Yep.
Shuffle.
All right.
Shuffle.
Well, it's cracking open. Now you're actually seeing rats. There's nothing on the door. Just so you know, there's no puzzle on this door. There's just a latch.
Rats are hungry.
Let's get out of here. Let's get through that door.
Okay, you can. The rats are starting to come out of the hole in the glass now.
Yeah.
They're starting to move towards you. Are you running?
Yes.
Okay,
Rapidly.
you're running.
Rapidly.
Run. Everybody make one more dexterity roll.
I'm on my
22.
ass.
It's a hard pass.
I'll spend
Fail.
8 points of luck to not fail.
That's
Okay.
a hard pass for me as well.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
No
Mr.
way, I'm
Rum.
spinning around like Bambi.
Okay, Mr. Rum said, "Shh, hot hits the ground," but you're very close to the door. The door, you can open it immediately, and Mr. Rumstead has fallen right near the door. The rats are about 20 feet away. Who's going to pull him through the door?
Oh, I'll pull him through. I'm not Mr.
I'll
Rumsfeld.
also help pick him up. Yeah.
Okay,
Reach
make
out.
one of you, make both of you, whatever, one of you make it. As long as one of you makes a successful strength roll, he's through the door. The
I'm
door's
size 80.
shut.
So
Yeah, he's
I'll-
big.
I've just got 22 out of 70 on strength. So there's
All right, he's through the door. The door latches shut, and as it latches shut, you can hear all those nasty little rats that are creepy eyes slamming into the door and chittering and screeching from behind.
never seen anything like that before.
But Mr. Hardley, we haven't seen anything like any of this before.
Exactly.
I almost wonder if we're all upstairs sleeping and someone slipped a Mickey into the punch.
Mean some PCP?
Or that. I don't know what the effects of PCP on a Canadian would be.
On a Canadian.
I can't help you either. You turn around, you're shocked, you're like, oh my God. And you notice you are now in the old day equivalent of the first room you're in. This is the final room. There are chairs set in a semicircle. Half of them are knocked over, and a couple are just on their sides. One's upside down, and they're in front of a large dais. And on top of it is a throne. And it's very opulent. It's Santa's throne, and there's chairs on either side, just like in the previous room, but much more substantial chairs. Sitting on the throne is a dead person. It is a dead man, desiccated, and he has a Santa Claus outfit on. And you're shocked by this. I mean, this is someone, but you notice that underneath his Santa Claus clothing, there's like regular clothing. It's like it's a person dressed up who's put on a Santa Claus outfit, who's died in there. But everybody, while you're staring at, make a spot hidden, each of you, please.
What a sanity roll.
Yes, you do have to make a sanity roll as well. After all of this,
I'll spend 2 points to pass.
I pass right on the money. 45 on a 45.
Critical fail 100, spot hidden.
I got an extreme success in the spot hidden. And then sanity roll as well, did you say?
Okay.
Sanity roll for each of you. Yes, after all of this, as you start to calm
Sweet
down.
Jesus,
before
I
you
didn't
turn
make
around.
that.
Yeah, failed both rolls.
I failed my sanity roll.
I made the sanity roll as well.
If you fail sanity, if you pass your sanity roll, you take 1. If you fail, 1 die 4. You can do that yourselves.
4.
After all of this, it's all culminated in this right now. But for those of you who made the spot hidden, you notice that behind the throne where the wall is, this is the back wall. It's been busted out, and there's area at the top which would be above ground where it's been pushed out into the parking lot where the brickwork has been moved. But there's actually a hole behind the Santa Claus's throne in the wall.
A hole that leads to the exterior, or that leads deeper into the ground?
You'd have to actually move behind the throne to look, but it means you have to go around the throne. And I'm assuming that one of you do. When you look behind the throne, okay, what you see is there's actually a tunnel in the wall, and it's cut right into the rock beneath the parking lot, and it's very smooth, almost like it's been melted through stone.
Is there a door leading out of this room?
Yes, there is. There is a door that leads out, and it leads off to the right, and it would be to the old freight elevator area.
What is this tunnel? Wait, and who's the dead guy? Is it Mr. Ross?
Why would Mr. Ross be dead here, sir?
Why would there be rabid raccoons and rats attacking us and PCP children?
Well,
I'm going to go up on the throne and look at the body.
Smack him around.
This person's been dead for a while now, like a long while. It doesn't appear to be the same height as Mr. Ross. It's someone who's a lot shorter than him.
But it's all the body's all dried out and desiccated.
Yeah.
We've left this room alone for about 10 years. Anything could have happened.
Yeah, but why is there a dead body?
I think that at this point we really do need to call the police.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying.
This is no longer our job. It stopped being our jobs when we got attacked by the kids.
And what do you suppose made that the hole?
Yeah,
Mr. Hardley.
Yeah, this makes no sense. This should not be here. Can we flash one of the flashlights down into the hole to get a better look? I step around back
absolutely.
and peer in.
Hold on. Are we good for a bit longer, everybody? Still good?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Okay, excellent. Okay, you shine the flashlight down, and it just sort of twists and winds. It's a very smooth hole through the stone, and it goes deeper and deeper into the ground. We're not talking straight down. I mean, you could walk down this, or it's certainly tall enough, like it's like maybe 5 feet tall. You could walk down it, but there's a bit of a, number one, you can all smell that salty smell from the hole.
Huh.
And number two, there seems to be light at the end of the tunnel.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, it's a good sign. Yeah.
A good sign.
Or something. Well,
I was about to say there's nothing on the planet that could make me just go down that hole.
Well, no,
Then you said there's a light.
There are no telephones down here, right?
Not right here. No. As you know, by the freight elevators, if you go through that side door, you're back into the area right between the two buildings where there is a freight elevator, and there should be a phone there.
Well, I'm the maintenance guy. If someone's bleaching off of our electricity and we're paying for it, this has got to get shut down. So I'm going to go down there and figure out what the hell's all plugged into our power.
Why, is there a power line running out of the hole?
Well, there's light coming out of there, and it's accessed from here. Someone knocked into the building, and I bet you they're pulling our power.
Oddly enough,
after they left a corpse down here.
Oddly enough, there is something on the floor of the corridor, called the tunnel, and it is a tube. It is like a wire.
Yeah, see, look at those.
But it's not connected to anything inside the building except the back of the throne. And when you turn around and look at the back of the throne, it's like a hole has been chewed through the throne.
Huh.
And it's stuck right into the guy.
Oh, that's
Wait, so
weird.
this cable or whatever it is goes through the throne and into the dead body?
He said a tube.
Well, it's tube or cable. It's round, and if you poke at it, it feels almost like flesh and not plastic or anything. It's bizarre.
Wait, there's a fleshy tube.
Yeah,
right
no
up into
worries.
the
I
guy.
had to go there.
I'm the repair guy. I've got electrical tape on me. I can patch that up.
I'll wait for you here.
Anyway, well, this needs to be unplugged, obviously.
Well, unplug it from the dead guy end. Just pull it. Grab it and pull it, Mr.
Sure.
Hardley.
Okay. All right. Okay. Here we go. So I'll just take it out with my handkerchief, though.
Okay. You pull it, takes a bit of tugging. You pull it out from behind the chair, out of the body shuffles, like shimmies and shakes. And when you pull it out, number one, you look at it, it looks like meat. It's not like there's wire. There's actually wire, but there's also like a fluid that looks like ichor, blood, something. And from the other side of the wall where all the rats are, you hear the squealing and screaming of rats. There's just high-pitched, terrible screaming. And if you listen closely, which you probably aren't, you can even hear the screaming and squealing of the 3 that have been tied up by you down farther.
But they're rooms away.
The room's away, but it's a very quiet basement because the music has ended.
Does this invoke a sanity roll?
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
Go
I
for
almost
it.
needed one
Another one.
personally.
Yeah.
I got 03, so
I have
No,
Nice.
that's
horrible
a
sanity.
fail.
62, which is a fail.
Then do a die 4 again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and what if you pass
my
one?
If you pass, you're okay. Well, 1's fine. Yes, you can take 1. That makes sense. It's all rather disturbing.
All right. There's 2 more down the tubes.
Okay.
I started with such low sanity,
Yeah,
I might
but-
go crazy.
Homer.
All right, Mr. Hardley, we have to go down this tunnel.
Yeah. This is not right here. This is something's really amiss. So I'm following this.
We
This-
can't leave this. We can't leave this mess for someone else to clean up. I mean, we do have to call the police to deal with the PCP vagrants, but we should investigate this. We are Steel employees.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not
There-
paid enough to investigate this.
It's just a tunnel.
I'm waiting here.
All right. So I
My
go
character's
crawl down
eyes
in
twitching, and he's just like,
Now, Mr.
No,
McIntosh, remember you are hired to investigate trouble.
Yeah, I investigate things inside the building. That it's not inside the
Yeah,
building.
but these people are stealing power from us. Look, the lights are on. Right? Okay,
Stealing power. That's
so
your
I'm gonna-
concern.
I'm gonna go down there.
After Mr. Steele's kindness to you, and I tap your breast pocket where you put your envelope, I'm surprised that you're not eager to assist him.
This isn't kindness. This is deserved.
Oh,
I'll get this
I'll take up the rear then.
fixed. Don't worry, Mr. Rumstead. I'll get this figured out. So I just follow the damn
no,
fluffy
I'm following
cable.
Mr. Hardley.
Yeah.
All right. Are you all
following
going
it
down? Are you all going
I
down the
guess
tunnel?
so, but I'm going.
my
Run it this
character's
far.
having some pretty bad PTSD, but yeah, you'll follow.
I'm
PTSD
holding
didn't
Mr.
exist in
Kachi's hand.
1975, just so you know. So, okay, so you all are heading down the tunnel. You're heading down,
Yeah.
and it twists and winds, and it's smooth. The smell of the ocean is stronger and stronger. And you keep walking and walking and walking. You're like, when is this tunnel ending? We should be underneath Lake Ontario by now. And you get to a spot where the tunnel opens up, and you're looking out on an island. You can
What
see the
the-
ocean. You can see trees. You can see sand,
Daylight?
daylight,
Guy,
What in the fuck?
and heat is emanating from this hole.
We've all been inhaling PCP.
wait. Is there a sky? Are we underground?
We're,
Yes, Yes
There's
and
a sky.
yes.
It's a
makes
tropical
no sense.
island. We're in the Caribbean.
This makes no sense. Look at all that water. They've been stealing it from our plumbing, I bet.
the sump isn't working.
Oh, I'm suddenly very warm. This must be rabies fever or something.
not all of us were bit, and we're all seeing it.
Yeah, this makes no sense. Is that fleshy cable still going this way?
Yeah, where's the fleshy cable?
It heads off into the woods, into the palm trees and such, the bushes.
Follow the fleshy cable.
And now this doesn't make any more sense, Mr. Rumsfeld. This is now it doesn't make any more sense. I'm not following a fleshy cable into the woods. This is where are we? This is so far.
This is LSD.
Excuse me, Mr. Hardley?
I think we should go home now.
Yeah,
I think we should be done.
Yeah, this doesn't look like really a good idea to continue exploring here. We're now out in there's a ocean and an island and trees, and this isn't supposed to be here, Mr. Rumstead. This isn't even our property anymore. The tunnel has gone into someone. We're probably trespassing in someone else's property.
This probably Lake Ontario's fumes that are making us hallucinate.
My watch says 10:30 at night. How are we in the sun daytime with the blue sky?
Oh yeah, good call.
It's also the middle of winter.
Yeah, and it's nice and warm here. Sunny.
So I don't think this is Lake Ontario.
Yeah, this is somewhere.
Well, maybe it's the American side.
But this is Canada.
Yeah, we've been walking a long time apparently, and this
You're in
this
Buffalo.
makes no sense. We've got to yeah, we should go back. I think,
But we've left sensible territory hours ago.
Yeah, but this is getting deeper and deeper, curiouser and curiouser here, Mr. Rumstead.
No,
I agree.
Let's see where it goes.
But I'm going to follow this fleshy tube.
We can always go back.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Yeah, we can always follow the fleshy tube back to the corpse in our basement.
The other thing is, if it was a hallucination of drug-induced, we're all having the same one, which is
We'll just stick together. We'll be
Was
safe.
anyone bit by the children, perhaps?
The children?
I don't think they even attempted to bite us.
Do you mean the dwarves?
Yeah, the elf.
Hobo
We're
elves?
We're just gonna follow the fleshy tube.
Yeah, follow the fleshy tube. Oh, might as well.
You exit the hole. The hole is about 3 or 4 feet above the ground. You drop to the sand. You look back. It's a hole like in the air. It's just in the air. You shake that off. You've seen enough craziness for the day, for the night. You follow the tendril thing, and it twists and winds through this tropical forest. And you can see the ocean. And as you start to come to an exit to the forest, this exit to, well, it's not really a forest, jungle. You see a cove in a beach, and about 300 feet from the cove, there's a stone structure, and the stone is like flat. It's coral that's been cut and placed on the ground, and there's a raised platform. There's pedestals on 4 corners, and there's a roof built on top of it. And inside that, there's a chair, and on that chair is a man. And Mr. Rumstead, you immediately recognize this is Mr. Ross. And he is in this chair. He's not moving. His clothing is tattered. His skin is sunburnt, and his lips are all white from exposure. And walking around this stone structure, adjusting mechanical equipment and technical metal components and wires and such and antenna type things, is this strange beetle-like creature. It's like you're all just, where are you? What is going on? And this creature it's like a June bug or like it's a giant, like a beetle of some sort, and it's adjusting the instruments, and it's adjusting it, checking things, and it's lifting up the cable that's dropping it to the ground. And it goes back to the instruments. It's just walking back and forth.
How big is it?
It's probably under 10 feet, like 5 or 6 feet long, a few feet wide, like a giant beetle.
It's bigger than us.
In mass, like size, yes. It's not higher than you, like maybe 3 feet above the ground. But it's a good. These things don't exist. These giant beetle creatures.
Hello?
Oh, hi. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I'm
Creature.
just trying.
Or are you saying hello to the creature or just saying hello?
Yeah.
Okay. The creature drops the cable and turns and faces you, and it chitters. It makes chittering kind of noises, and its mouth parts move. And all of you make a Constitution roll.
Do we have to make a sanity roll to see a huge beetle?
Oh, that's next. Yes.
Oh, hardcore fail.
Oh, 1.
95.
77 fail.
Okay.
Hard.
Hard success.
Oh, I was looking at
Hard
myself, waiting for
success.
me to say what I got. I'm
Nice.
looking at my picture, going, "What do you get?" Okay, so those of you that failed, you're asleep. You don't remember anything. You're out right now. Those of you that passed, you see the other two sort of weave off and sort of, they don't fall down, but they kind of want, sort of, they're standing and they start walking towards the beetle creature.
Mr. Hardley! Mr. Hardley! Oh, I've got
Well,
it. Do I still have the hockey stick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll join in on the assault.
I hit Mr. Hardley.
Like,
Well, you knock him sideways and he's still not
Do I knock him over? Can I trip him?
cognizant. Yeah, you can definitely put the stick between his legs in his skate blades and lift him up. You can knock him to the ground and he promptly gets up again and he's getting up and trying to walk more. Mr. McIntosh is continuing on.
Wait, we heard the beetle chirping. I think the beetle has hypnotized Mr. Hardley and Mr. McIntosh. Mr. Coburn, are you with me?
yes,
There's only one recourse.
we must beat up the beetle and roll
Or we
sanity.
could do that. I was going to say flee, but okay, we'll attack the beetle.
Okay.
Are they fleas or beetles?
It's a beetle. The creature is running, is moving towards a table of mechanical devices and things like that. Things you see on a table while you're moving towards it. It's still you're still a good 50 feet away, but you can run towards it. Mr. Hardley and Mr. McIntosh are walking directly towards where the stone dais, or whatever you want to call it, the stone structure is.
Mr. Katcha, Mr. Coburn, help me club the beetle.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to. Looks like they're gonna do something nasty to
I
them.
think one of us should stay here and make sure the other guys don't touch whatever that thing is. I wouldn't want to touch it either.
All right. Well, you're strong. You wrestle them to the floor, and I'll accompany Rumstead.
I am actually not that strong. My character's a little old.
Gentlemen, this is no time to debate. Just choose a course of action.
I'll accompany Mr. Rumstead up to the beetles.
Okay. Beetle. There's only one.
Then
Beetle. Sorry.
I'll try to hold them, both of these guys back.
Okay. All right. Katya and Rumstead, you actually you can have the first initiative as this creature is fumbling with materials on its table.
Oh, I just pounded with a hockey stick.
Yeah, try and smack it.
Okay.
Let me see.
I terribly missed.
Do you just use your brawl stat? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Even if I spend all of my luck, I still miss.
If it's okay with you, Sean, I'm gonna splurge and spend 40 luck to make that a pass.
Sure. Why not?
Gonna do 1 point of damage.
40. Yep. And then it's probably just a D8 then, isn't it? No
Yep.
damage bonus.
No.
D8.
But where are you aiming on its body? That's important.
Probably at its mandibles, I'd say. Like its little chittering mandibles.
Excellent. Okay.
That are
good.
kind of soft.
Roll your damage.
8 damage.
8. That
Yeah.
is perfect. What you end up doing is knocking off one of its antennas and do damage to its eye and its face on that side as well. So the creature busts off to the side, doesn't succeed in doing whatever it was going to do. However, Mr. Hardley and Mr. McIntosh, you can roll a Constitution roll again now, please.
That's a pass.
Yeah, big fail again. 89.
That's fine. Well, Mr. McIntosh, wakes up in shock. Like, what the? You now know the thing was something happened. You've moved. You're closer to this stone thing where Mr. Ross is sitting in a chair, and he's looking at, his eyes are moving, and he's waking up. His eyes are opening. He's waking up, and he's got wires attached to his body in various locations, and he's going, help, help me.
I'm sorry, Mr. Ross. I was just asleep. What the hell?
The creature is now turning. I'm just going to say, one. How many? Hold on. Nope. Okay, so it actually tries to attack Mr. Rumstead, who missed, but it stumbles a bit because of its damage to its antenna, and it drops down on one leg, and it stands up again, and now it's going after. It's turning on both of you. It's backing away. So, Mr. Katya, you can now take another turn, as well as Mr. Rumstead.
All right. Well, I'll try to bash it again.
Okay.
Okay, so I will spend 20 luck to make that a regular success.
Okay. Excellent.
And if there's a way that I can hit it on its underbelly, I would like to.
It's a hockey stick. You can, just like a scythe, go right up underneath.
Wonderful. 8 points of damage.
Wow.
8, 16, 16. All right. The creature takes massive damage to its underbelly, and bug goo starts coming out of it. Mr. Katya, however, it is your turn. You can actually go now before the creature react.
Yes, I hear Ross starting to cry out for help, and I'll go over and see if I can make heads or tails of what he's rigged up to. Like, I kind of want to see if I want to see if I can help him, basically.
Oh, are you leaving me with the beetle?
You're in combat.
Oh, sorry. I thought you could do that as part of it. Sorry. Then I'll finish off the beetle.
Yeah, it's coming after. It's like facing the two of you, so you can't just go, I'll be back. so take a swing.
I thought I just got him down on his knees there. Let's see.
Oh, it just dropped to the side and turned around and faced you too.
How much do I have left? Yeah, I mean, I might as well spend that. Yeah, I'll spend another 13 points of luck to make that another pass.
Okay, roll damage. No damage bonus.
Go on, another 8 damage.
Nice.
It's off the desk. No, 1 second.
All right. Good news. Whoa, he's gone. I looked away.
Rogue die.
Oh, it's underneath that table full of stuff. He's never gonna find it. Oh, he found it. All right. Good news. When you damage it, you've brought it quite low in its hit points, and the creature drops to the ground. Sand, and the creature is gone. Out of the life force seems to have left the creature. However, all of you except for Mr. Hardley and Mr. McIntosh need to make a Constitution roll, and I'm going to roll for Ross. Okay.
Cockroach! Stop it.
I will spend luck to succeed.
Okay.
I have never rolled so lucky in a game before.
I got a
hard pass again.
All right. Nothing happens that you know of. But Mr. Ross, the creature is gone, and Mr. Ross is just begging for assistance.
Well, I'm right next to him.
Hardly you wake up now. Sorry.
Is he restrained?
He is restrained, but very lightly, very mildly. He's not tied tight. He's just very, very basic, like
There's not tubes or
mechanical
pipes or
wire.
anything coming out of his head.
There's
or...
wires attached to his skin. Some are going in under his skin. There's some like a helmet on his head with some wires attached to equipment, but it's all easily removable.
Is he clothed?
He's wearing the tattered remains of like summer attire.
All right. So I'll try to pull whatever it is off him without hurting him.
Yeah, easy. It's not difficult. So you get him removed from the equipment. He's thank you, my God, who are, and he notices you, Rumstead, and he knows you. He also knows you as well, Macintosh. He would know you as well, would he not? You were there more than 10 years ago.
Oh yes, I remember him. Yeah.
Yes, he notices about both of you. He says, you've how long have I? And he's coughing and hacking. His throat is dry, and he says, we have to leave. Take me back. What? He's just confused and utterly just not with it.
Right. We have to head back for the hole.
Is there a fleshy tube attached to him?
The fleshy tube was attached to the equipment, strangely enough.
And the beetle is dead?
The beetle is dead. Yes.
What is all of this stuff? Mr. Ross, what is all of this stuff?
I can explain later, but we need to get back. We need to get back.
Gotta go.
We don't have much time.
Quick.
Okay.
All right.
Is there any of the stuff we want? What was the beetle reaching for on the table? Is there any sort of a hand-sized device?
There are multiple devices. Now, some of them look like medical equipment. Some of them look like transistor radios with pointy things sticking out of them. The one thing it seemed to be reaching for was almost, it looks like a weapon of some sort, like a firearm.
I will take it.
I'll take a couple other instruments that might be interesting. I like tinkering with my.
Yeah, you can grab a few random things.
Yeah.
The one thing though, Mr. Macintosh, could you make a spot hidden, please?
Sure. I'm deeply concerned getting Mr. Ross out of here, and I failed.
Okay. Now the only other one left would be Mr. Kacha. Could you make a spot hidden as well, since you were running in that direction?
So I've got Mr. McIntosh.
Yep.
I mean, Mr.
Ross, yes.
No, that's a big fail.
All right, easy enough. Okay, so you all head back, and oh, I'm sorry, I forgot Mr. Coburn. You can make a spot hidden as well while everyone else is.
Alrighty. That is a fail.
Okay. You rush back to the hole, and you notice that the edges of the hole seem to be collapsing as you kind of expected. They might be out of fear that something is going on, that something is ending in Mr. Ross's protestations that you must leave. Hold on, I have to cough. You get Mr. Ross up into the hole. You each help each other. You pull each other up, and you rush back down the tunnel. You get to the building just in time for the tunnel to close behind you. Part of it seems to be collapsing behind you as you go, but as you enter the building, the tunnel itself just stone collapses down. It's not like it's disappearing. It's just gone, and the stone collapses, and part of the wall collapses behind the Santa's throne as you get him. You rush Mr. Ross back into the Ross building. You get him water. You get him food. You bring him up, I would assume, to Mr. Steele's office, and there's shock and surprise. And Mr. Steele is
nurses up there. Yeah,
nurses are there. They can assist. They bring him back. They feed him, and they call an ambulance, and they send him off to the hospital. You all need to take another sanity roll, but it doesn't really matter because it's one shot. But.
Oh, 98 again.
I succeed.
So some of us need to
actually
be
wait.
hospitalized.
Yeah.
Oh no, I failed.
Anybody who fails takes another die 4. However, Mr. Hardley, that's a pretty serious fail. You actually need some time with a psychotherapist or the time in the hospital.
I am indefinitely insane now.
Yeah.
Indefinite. Well, all right then. You need new floor manager. So
yeah.
Yeah. We need a new menswear manager too. There's no way I'm letting that thief stay on the payroll.
The way he unlocks a lock. Chink.
I'm just curious, are the rats still there? Are the rabid raccoons still
We went the
there?
other way back up,
Dead.
right?
They're dead. Yeah, you went the other way. Yeah. But you went the other way. But you do investigate. So the closure. When you return to looking at the building, you find that the rats are gone, are dead. The 3 people you tied up, they're just homeless vagrants, and they don't know what happened. They have no idea. They're injured and damaged. They need hospitalization and assistance. They have no idea where any of this came from. The guy on the throne was another homeless guy. Something had happened in the past that you're not quite aware of. But he as well was a homeless guy. They actually knew his name. It was like David Johnson. He was at one time a school teacher. He went crazy at some point and was out on the streets, and then he disappeared a number of years. And they came looking for him. They just sort of wandered into the building one night when the door was accidentally left open. They found him, and that's the last they remember. Mr. Ross and Mr. Steele have a meeting with you, and they explain that this is all very confidential because nobody will ever believe the story that they tell you. And Mr. Ross explains that for years he'd been searching for his parents, years, and he knew that his father was someone who had money and wealth, and he could have done anything he wanted to with his life in business, but he had so much, he just decided to take up things he was interested in. Those things were looking into esoteric beliefs and the occult and such. And he went searching for his parents after they disappeared. He never did find them. He found rumors and hints in his father's writings and such, but he himself got interested in these same esoteric writings. And he stumbled across a book in Istanbul once called the Eltdown Shards. And the Eltdown Shards was a mystical story. He doesn't think you'll believe any of this, but you've seen enough craziness that you could probably kind of believe him. And the Eltdown Shards, it was a book that spoke of beings that could exchange thoughts and minds and project thoughts onto others and through others and control them. And when he went searching for more information on this, he was able to find a way to contact these other creatures. And he says the creature that he did contact, the thing that had actually captured him, was called a Yithian. And they come from elsewhere. They're from well beyond our realm. And this Yithian creature, probing his mind over years and years, was trying to gather information on humans and humanity and beliefs. And the one thing it caught on was his obsession with finding his father, which he couldn't help him with, this creature, because it's not necessarily an evil creature, but the other thing was his obsession with Christmas. So through projection, he was trying to assist Mr. Ross in bringing him into a sense of purpose and a sense of happiness. He couldn't help him with finding his father, so what he did help him with was breaking through back to where he came from, which was the Steele Ross building, and actually recreating his Santaland the only way it could, by controlling other creatures from our world and replicating what he believed would make Mr. Ross happy, making him believe that the Santaland that he was obsessed with throughout his whole life was real. And again, that's it.
And it was the Yithian from the Coleoptera race that comes after us, the beetle
Yes.
race. Yeah,
That's right.
cool. All right, let me go ahead and finish that. We can ask some questions. Our players included Matt Ryan, Theodore Martinez, Stuart Lively, Mark Anthony, and myself, with Sean Liddle as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where we can chat with, where you can chat with other members. You can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. There's a link below. We're currently producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved with the show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure in the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.